What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank y'all for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, friends and family? How y'all feeling today? We in the building. What's happening? What's happening, y'all? We have a hurricane approaching. What up, though, chat? Who you loving? How you want to be loving? Shout out to my dog, DJ Ace Productions, Jesse Xavier in the building. K Cooper, what up, though? Kwame, Legitimately Crooked, Vito Royale, Will Nola, Pint for Pint, Mario, but call me Rio. I like that. AR, Justin, what up, though? Desiree, everybody, what's happening? I'm looking forward to seeing y'all this weekend. Chase Barnes, I see you. James Horton, what up, though? Heavy Duty, I see you. AJ Wise, Will, what up, Will? Coach Chris, Crown, Nathan, Treese, Vito Royale, Brent Morris, Jude, Top Notch Rocker, what up? 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 What up to everybody? My dog, Mr. Lot. Key Links, I see you. Nelson, Mimi, Timothy Henry, what up? What up, Kay? Treese, Zeroyce, Vicious, Trey. What up, everybody inside of the building? All right, y'all. We got a lot to cover today. Of course, I'm sure we're not going to get to all of it, but I'm looking forward to getting to most of it. And whatever we don't cover today, we'll just follow into the next day. All right? So lots to talk about today. I heard that Nolan Wells' autopsy report was released. We'll probably talk about that here, and we'll also talk about that on After Hours tonight. Hopefully y'all enjoyed After Hours yesterday. We here? What up, AD? You still listening to the Ross album? Not really. I've been listening to Vezo a little bit more. What up, Chris Cunningham? What up, Jesse? What up, Angelique? Nelly, what's happening? Health, wealth, love, friends, perfect self-expression. Eric Harris in the building. I see you. What up, Mrs. B? Mrs. BH, that is. Yeah, I'm waiting till they get done with the live because I was looking at it. I was watching it, Q Executive Suite. And yeah, of course Molly was looking, which I thought that she didn't look good just because y'all see her in her room. I don't feel like listening to Ben Crump. Most of what I was seeing at this point was just him, you know, doing his speech, saying that children are more important than basketball. You know, it wasn't talking about the actual autopsy report. So when we get to it to where they're done with all of that extra, then we'll get into it and we'll actually observe and have a conversation about the autopsy report. All right? All right. So we're going to get there. Yeah, they just messing around, bro. They're not even talking about anything at this point. So we gonna get there. Let me see some of the things that is on the list, on the docket for the day. I heard that A Different World is rebooting. Why they gotta reboot everything? Why they just can't let stuff go? Let it live in the time that it existed. We got a lot to cover. Lots and lots to cover. I want to go over Stephen A's reaction from Ryan Clark. I want to go over. Wait a minute. What is this? I want to go over Stephen A's reaction. I want to go over Cam Newton's reaction. I want to cover a lot of stuff. Lots and lots of stuff to cover today. And then more importantly, I can't wait to see y'all on Friday or Saturday. Saturday, I'm going to see y'all on Saturday in DC. Information is inside of the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Well, first of all, let me explain myself and explain my appearance right now. Cleaners got all of my shirts. Talking about their deliver it today. They got a whole bunch. They got like 2.5 weeks worth of shirts. What's up, Cleaners? I do got a shirt over there though, but I ain't tripping about it. You said, does the camera look fuzzy? The camera look fuzzy? The camera look fuzzy to you? Hello? You
What
said,
are they doing for the car?
regular maintenance, because it gave the alert saying that it need an oil change. You know, even after it's warmed up and stuff like that, it's not responding the way I want it to.
Okay.
So if you could take a look at that, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a problem. I'm gonna pull it around in the service aisle. Okay. That's in the front of the building behind Bentley. I was looking for it, but I didn't see it, so I just parked it over here because I ain't know. Okay. Yeah, I'll take it around for you. Hey, Anton, I have that model for you too. Do you want me to give it to her, or did you want me to leave it in the car? Or what did you want to do? You can leave it in the car.
Yeah, you can leave it in the car. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. Very cool.
All right. Let me know if y'all need anything.
Okay, all right, I sure will. Bye bye.
All right, bye. Yeah, taking my cars for maintenance. So, that's happening. Let me say this. Also. I think I am battling with some form of um insomnia, bro. I don't know what it is. Before I get started with the show, I don't know what it is. I feel like I got like some form of insomnia to where y'all say it may be a little bit out of focus. Give me a second. Let me see something. I think it's just the light. I think it's the sun. I think it's the light in the sun. Yeah, I think it's just the light. I don't think it has anything to do with the actual pictures or whatever like that. I do, man. I think that I'm dealing with like some form of insomnia. You slept 1 hour last night. Yeah, we'll get to Nolan Wells autopsy in a little bit. It ain't going nowhere. I do. I think that I got some like dealing with some form of insomnia. It's lighting. It's 100% lighting. Most of the time, if you're having any problems with your cameras, most of the time it's lighting. Yeah, I was thinking that Digital. I'm not planning on starting a sports podcast until the fall. I am, bro. I think I'm dealing with I can't sleep. And it ain't even for no particular reason. It's not for any particular reason. I just can't, for whatever reason, I'm having trouble sleeping at night. And I don't want to take no pills. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take no sleep pills. I don't want to do none of that. Can you is it something that like you can go to the doctor for? It's the creator vibe, all those ideas in so little time that may factor into it. Is it something that you can go to the doctor for? Like, do you can you go to like a sleep doctor? My mind do be busy. I'm not disagreeing with that. What does CBD do? He said yes, and they're gonna give you pills. I'm a try a sleep doctor, but I'm not taking no pills. I've been going for 6 years straight with 3 days off. Maybe. I mean, do you do a sleep study? Is that something that you can control with a sleep study? Chris Cunningham says smoke a blunt. Yeah, you know what the problem with that is? Melatonin. Yeah, that may help. You know what the problem with that is, though, Chris Cunningham? I don't know what these dudes are smoking. I don't know if it's the backwoods. I don't know what it is, but they lips be purple, and I be trying to figure out. Okay, wait a minute, cause see, this is the part that I be trying to understand. Now, I can't be the only one. All right, when cigarette smokers smoke cigarettes, they can smoke for their entire lives, and their lips are not black. When I see people that are lifetime smoker for trees sometimes, why do why is their lips turning black? That's what I be trying to understand. I say, okay, so cigarette smokers, why do the cigarette smokers' lips is normal, but then the tree smokers' lips are purple? Somebody explain that to me. They lips be black because they smoking roaches all the way down to burning their lips. Ah, they burning their lips up. Wait a minute. You can't, you telling me that they lips are black because they desperate to get the last puff out on a regular basis? Ooh, that's crazy. So y'all saying that people that smoke trees that got super duper purple lips just don't have the proper maintenance? That's what I was saying. It can't just be from the roaches. Can't just be from the roaches, bro. Yeah, that's crazy. Anyways, so I'm learning stuff new. Used to burn my lips all the time. They don't wash their face. Leaf stains the skin off the lips, so then that means that they need a filter. Yeah, this sound a little complicated. I just need something to knock off the insomnia. I will say that I think that part of it has to be my sleep schedule. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to solve for that. I don't know how to solve for that. Streaming in the morning is not a problem. When we start deep diving way into the night, I'm like, man, this is because it's not the fact that you streaming into the night. It's the fact that you get a limited amount of sleep and it got to be broken up sometimes before you get up in the morning and start preparing for the show and stuff. What is a lip scrub? I got to figure out how to get longer sleep. Like I have to figure out how to. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been able to sustain it. But now I'm starting to have some form of insomnia, and it's starting to mess with me. And I don't want to take no pills. I don't want to take no pills. I'm not about to start getting addicted to pills. You know what I'm saying? So I got to figure it out. Gummies are for girls. I've, I've always, I've always, I don't know, maybe it's just in my mind, but I've always believed that edibles and gummies are for women. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy take a gummy. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move my workout to the nighttime instead of the morning time. So I we'll figure it out. I'm a call the doctor. They got concierge sleep doctors, so I'll call a doctor and see what the move is, and then I'll try different stuff to see if I can tire myself out. But more importantly, I know that one of the biggest problems is always gonna be it's gonna be my sleep schedule. It's gonna be that live streaming at night, that live streaming at night. And I don't know how to solve for that. I mean, I got Mimi now, but then at the same time, it seems like if I'm not on there, then everything just kind of go left. I'm not interested in taking no edibles. That's just not my thing. So I got to figure something out. I just need a longer one block of sleep. You know what I'm saying? If I can get 6 to 7 hours of sleep at night, I think I can figure it out. I'm not taking no Red Bull. Red Bull? Y'all smoking. That ain't nothing but crack in a bottle. Red Bull? Nah, 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 nah. This is an easy fix, AD. Start the show at 8, not 10. Mmm. Mmm. I don't think people is going for that. I don't think the people going for that. Mimi. I let me see something. You said you had this issue. Hold on, where he said he had this issue. I had this issue. They gonna tell you to read a book. It says Abe the Hunter. I don't know if people is going for that. I don't know if people is going for the 8 o'clock show. You got to remember, we got an audience of people on after hours, and we gonna have to go ahead and get started with the show now. We got an audience of people on after hours that be like, man, you got to get us through the night. Man, you got to do this. Man, you got to do that. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a lot of people that be like, that feel like they need us to stay later, so that we can get them in, and get them popping for the daytime. So I like the idea of moving it up. I'm just not sure that the team is built like that. We got a lot of truckers, we got a lot of overnight workers, we got all of those type of people. I'll figure it out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk to the people. I'm gonna have a conversation with the people that's in the Patreon that pull up to the meetup, and we gonna kick it. We gonna kick it like that. But the morning show is gonna be the morning show. I love the morning show, and we gonna go from there. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get it popping. You think you see it? And see, listen, that is true, Fi. I don't mind making a show 4 hours if we can start at 8. But starting at 10:30 and then getting off at 2 something and then getting up at 5 something is, oh man, that's, and then not being able to fall asleep sometimes, man, that is different, bro. It's different. It's different. So I want to continue to do what I do for a long time. I don't want to just do what I do for now. I want to have a longer term impact on what I do, and I want it to be good. All right. All right. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. What's the vibe at the meetup? Vibes. Good times. Please vote to start it at 8. Dang. Y'all own it about this 8 stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that most people are gonna be able to make it that's on the show at 8 o'clock. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it tonight. We'll talk about it on After Hours tonight, and we're gonna get it popping. All right. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. The first thing that I want to talk about is this woman's sentiment. All right. I thought that her sentiment was pretty interesting, and I wanna explore it. Check out what she got to say.
I'm going to be really mean, and so buckle up because I'm exhausted. I am so tired of the internet right now. Y'all are so mean. Y'all are so miserable. You look like big fat losers. To be completely frank with you, you look like a big fat loser. That's what you look like. And it's really making the internet not as fun as it used to be. And I don't want to hear anything about accountability. Accountability this, accountability that. It's not accountability, it's jealousy. It's pure unmitigated jealousy. That's all that it is. Because I go on my favorite influencers' videos and I see the comment sections and it's just hater after hater after hater after hater after hater. And I'm sorry, I don't want to hear anything about accountability. You cannot hold people accountable whom you are not in community with. You are not doing anything but looking like a miserable fool on the internet. That's all you're doing. Mind you, when people are talking about like income disparity and things of that nature in this country, we're talking about literal billionaires. Billionaires. I'm not talking about such and such who bought a nice car and posted about it. I'm talking about people who have literally no concept of flying commercial, who are actually just ruining the planet because they're flying private for every whim. That's who I'm talking about. Who some of your faves are billionaires. So like, let's all be realistic. Like y'all are going on these witch hunts and these crusades against like normal people, and it's insane to me. Y'all are gonna give yourselves a heart attack or a stroke from just stressing yourselves out. And genuinely, y'all have become so insufferable that nobody takes what y'all are saying seriously. Nobody's taking it seriously because y'all are so insufferable all of the time. It's aggravating. Just because somebody posts on the internet does not mean they need to hear every thought you've ever had about them in their comment section. You actually could put it in the group chat, put it in your journal, think it, and not do anything about it. Those are all viable options. And if this touched a nerve, maybe think, I maybe don't need to post in everybody's comment section every time they post their little innocuous video. Their little video that means absolutely nothing. They're not commenting on anything. They're not saying anything. They're just posting a little video and going on about their life. Maybe I don't need to post my thoughts on that. Anyway, food for thought.
So the reason why I found this to be interesting is I see a lot of videos across the internet that people send me that people get mad at other people for being successful. And a lot of times they say that they're disconnected from the culture. They say that they're disconnected or they got too famous or they made too much money or I can't believe that you would post this. It was one time where I seen a girl that went into a grocery store of a town that she was visiting and she was like, man, it ain't no choices here or whatever. And the people got upset at that. The people got upset at that. I see people get mad at content creators a lot of times and they say, oh my God, I can't believe that you would post this at a time where people have layoffs or whatever like that. And people really believe that they have control over other people's content. And I don't understand that. I don't understand it. People can't wait to try to figure out how they can cancel somebody or how they can raise up a campaign. And the first thing that I think of when I see that type of stuff is you got too much time on your hands to be sitting here worrying about trying to put together a campaign over whether or not somebody is doing what you want to do or not. I can't, man, listen, bro. I can't believe that people are actually upset at people that they don't know. People that they don't know. They get upset at them and they feel some type of way about the fact that these people are showcasing and talking about their experiences in their lives and stuff like that. And that's the way that they determine whether or not they're going to live their life. What happened to this just being about entertainment? How did we get to the point to where people are being jealous of people that they have never met before in their lives? Probably will never meet these people and they only watching them on the internet, but people are literally crashing out over what somebody else's life is like. You do know that if you don't like something that you can turn it off, that you don't have to keep watching it, that you can decide, you know what, maybe this isn't for me, or people's tastes change. But people are really crashing out. And I ain't even talking about me. I'm talking about other creators on the internet, Instagram, TikTok, all of this stuff. People be feeling some type of way about it. And I don't understand it. I'm trying to figure out, how did somebody else's life become important enough to me to where I then get offended by somebody that I didn't even know? And I'll tell you why. It's jealousy. And a lot of people don't want to admit it. They use a lot of different terms to describe it, and they say it's being disconnected, or you need to be more relatable, or I can't believe that you're saying this and I'm going through it, and how does this help me feed my daughter? It's jealousy. It is, Broadway. You are right. We are slowly turning into the show Black Mirror. It is really jealousy. People are, man, listen, I was looking at some comments on a clip that people was making about Adrian Broner and Dean. Y'all do know that they are entertainers, right? You do know that they put on for the camera, right? And I'm not saying that it's not a level of authenticity of them wanting to lose weight or with the girls and stuff. But y'all do know that when Dean says, man, I don't feel like training today, y'all need to wake me up in the morning, and Adrian Broner comes in and says, man, ain't nobody have to wake me up in the morning. And I was the champ. And I see people in the chat saying, man, I can't believe Dean would even argue or even have a conversation. Like, wait, y'all do know that they both getting money, right? That one of them is playing a role and the other one is playing a role. And that's the thing that keeps people's eyeballs glued to the screen, that most of that stuff is not something that they tripping about in real life. oh man, they falling out. No, they're not. They're going to be right back together in a second. Y'all do know that these streams are nothing more than productions. When these people do these IRL streams, a lot of times, that's highly produced. Y'all do know that they got sponsors, right? And shout out to them for getting their bags and being successful. But man, I expect for young people, right? We used to go through it that people used to have posters on their wall and all of this stuff. When Chris Brown and the Rihanna situation happened a long time ago, and I hate to rehash it because I know Chris Brown was like, man, I don't want nobody to talk about this no more. When that situation popped off, you want to know what my reaction to it was? I genuinely didn't care. I mean, it's something to talk about. It's entertaining. I think that it's a good talking point. It's a conversational piece. But as far as whether I cared about what happened to Rihanna and Chris Brown, we was talking about the mother that shot the kid that was under the bed yesterday. And Kimmy brought up something in the conversation and she said, well, what about when y'all was talking about R. Kelly and stuff? And the chat was engaged, and shout out to the chat and stuff. But I don't think that y'all understand that I genuinely don't care about R. Kelly, whether he's here, whether he's not here. I genuinely don't care. If I go to see a performer that's doing, doing a show or doing a concert, I love Jay's music, but I'm not crashing out for Jay. I love Drake's music, but I'm not losing no sleep over Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Man, people be truly up in arms. They be in crash out mode. They be ready to jump. They be ready to pounce. When people then talked about me and then some of the bag chasers come to me saying, Anton, no, we need to. And I'll be like, man, leave them people alone. Ain't nobody, we not about to mess up what we doing. What? It's the internet. You know you can turn it off, or you can put do not interested and listening to what they got to say. If they start to say something, right? We gotta get back to regular life, y'all. We got to get back to regular life. It's cool to be engaged. It's cool to enjoy it, but we gonna have to detach. When I started seeing grown folks crashing out over people on the internet, I'm like, what? I never understood Michael Jackson fans. When people be like, oh, they be fainting and stuff like that. And I said, why are you fainting? I mean, I know he Michael Jackson, but he Michael Jackson. I get into elevators with people all the time that's famous. I got into the elevator with somebody yesterday, and we was just regular, and then they got off on their floor. I got off on my floor, and then we kept it moving in life. Fi Brown, your problem is that you keep on giving people views and thinking that you're doing something, but all you're doing is continuing to push them up with your engagement. If I don't like somebody, I am not going to watch their stuff because I'm not going to support them and pushing them in the algorithm. When you engage and when you go and give them views, you're helping them, not helping me. Why would you do that? Why would you go over into somebody else's stuff and help them if you don't rock with them? Why would you do that? Fi, you need a coaching call, bro. You've been making a lot of bad moves lately. You've been doing a lot of things that don't make sense. But you're not from back in the days. You can't relate to why MJ fans fainted. Man, I'm not fainting over nobody. I don't care who you are. I am able to separate you from your talent. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Abe. People used to crash out about the LeBron and Jordan thing. And we could passionately argue a lot of things. But I'm not about to, I'm not about to, it's not going to affect my regular life. I don't think you hear me. Fa has the hardest head I've ever seen in my entire life. You will tell Fa something, hey man, listen, stay away from that, don't do this. I know, man, but I literally only click on it now. Like on this situation. No, you stay away from it 100%. Why is it even in your algorithm? How are y'all clicking on stuff and defending me on stuff that I don't even see in my algorithm because I put do not interested and I don't even watch it? I don't want y'all defending me from people that don't like me. If you love me, then just hold me down in the spaces that I'm in. Don't spend no time on nobody else's stuff if you rock with me. Facts. That's the only thing I'm fainting over. I don't like that ambush. You're not, Monty, you're not doing me any favors by spending time on other people's stuff that talk negatively about me. I don't know how to better explain this to y'all. It's not interested in the video. You have to put not interested in the creator. Oh my God. I don't know what to do about Fi. Hey, y'all send up a prayer. Keep Fi in your prayers. And keep Fi in your prayers, y'all. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications, bro. Daddy Day Trip says you got to give grace, AD. You can't be algorithm Daniels and get mad when your chasers defend the algorithm. I was talking to this girl, and she couldn't understand why I never got mad. This was back in the day. She couldn't understand why I didn't get mad when guys talked to her. But then I would hold her accountable for some of the stuff that she would say back. And she couldn't figure it out, right? And so I sat her down and I said, listen, you're a beautiful girl. People are going to try to talk to you. I don't care about guys coming up to you and trying to talk to you. That's what they supposed to do. That's what guys do. Now, what I am going to look at you a little crooked at is how you respond to it. I don't care what other people do. They're benefiting me by keeping me in the algorithm. I'm going to look at people crooked if I say, hey, listen, this is what we moving like and this is how we move and we not responding to that. And people go off and respond to it anyway and say, oh man, I'm doing it in your honor. No, you're not. You're doing it for yourself. I don't care what people say to you. I care about how you respond to it. And the best response is to ignore it. As a matter of fact, a better response is once you notice it, make sure you change your patterns to where you're not in the same spaces to where that even hits your algorithm anymore. You understand what I'm saying? The goal, I guess it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to explain it to people. It's hard to explain it for people. But anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm because we getting nowhere. It's a lose-lose situation. It doesn't make sense. It's not gonna make sense. Oh, they deliver my shirts. Nice. All right. Make sure you guys hit a like. Let me read some of these cash apps and super chats. Shout out to my dog, Mike That Dude. I appreciate you, Mike That Dude, for holding me down. Spencer Campbell. What up, Spencer Campbell? Thank y'all to the cash app. Let's see what else we got going on in the chat. Eric Harris in the building says, Molly looks so great standing up. Molly, if there's anything, just anything, let me know. I'm here for you. I can't believe y'all out here crashing out over Molly.
Hello.
Hey, I'm on the live.
Hey.
So y'all going, these dudes is crashing out at you standing up yesterday.
Oh, Lord. Well, nah. I just let them think what they want, you know.
Y'all going to the courthouse today?
Yes, we are. Okay. We have a bunch of documents that we have to go get.
All right. Okay.
Hey, chat.
Are y'all y'all jumping on the live stream tonight, right?
Yes.
All right. Tell Miss Sanchez I said what up. Is Kimmy still there?
I will. No, she left. She left shortly after we got done. So.
All right. Keep me in the loop of what's going on.
All right. I'll talk to you tonight.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Told y'all don't know Molly in real life. Y'all don't know Molly in real life. She dope, lovely. She real dope. Anyways, y'all a mess. Let's get into the show. All right. Let me read some more of these super chats. Shout out to Eric Harris. I appreciate you. AR is back, says, don't do it, AD. If you smoke a blunt, then waking up may become the issue. What? Y'all can't wake up in the morning? I have problems going to sleep. Anthony Weston says, literally have the same problem. Bought some magnesium, glycinate, melatonin, and ashwagandha with the Dr. Teal's lavender body wash, was knocked out. Oh, that's a lot. Somebody send me a solution. This is an easy fix, AD. Startup show at 8, not 10. We going to talk about it tonight, Mimi. Free Thinker says, yes, we will go for it. 8 p.m. AD. All right. I like it. All right. Listen, we could try it, but I want to talk it over with the team first. Shout out to Just Christian Black. I appreciate you. Getting there in the building says, AD, play the song Off the Wall by Michael Jackson. That ish slaps. Y'all want Michael Jackson on the middle of the day? We can do MJ in the middle of the day if that's what y'all want today. Yeah, I got to get some sleep. I got to figure out how to get some sleep, bro. And then we might just try it next week, moving the show up to 8 p.m. and see how that play out. I think my girl Aaliyah gonna come on tonight too. That may be my newest project. I like Aaliyah. Let's get into this Cam Newton conversation. Cam Newton, I played a little bit of it yesterday with Cam reacting to and talking about the whole ESPN situation. And I want to deep dive into it a little bit further. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. and turn on your notifications. This is Cam, y'all.
If this isn't a way for all athletes and even content creators to learn one important rule of the times that we live in right now. Mm-hmm. If you don't own your own platform, you're going to get overlooked, bypassed, and be extinct just like dinosaurs. Mm. Look at what's happening here. Okay. It's unfortunate what happened to Ryan Clark, but what I will tell you is this. Ryan Clark gonna be okay. The pivot ain't going nowhere. Yeah. It's unfortunate what happened to me, some would think, but I'm good. 4th and 1 ain't going nowhere. Funky Friday ain't going nowhere.
Not at all.
When you think about what happened to Emmanuel Acho, Joy Taylor, different circumstances, different networks, different situations, but this is what you have to understand.
Joy Taylor is a little different. I don't think we didn't heard from Joy Taylor since Joy Taylor got tailored.
When you look at the speakeasy, all right, and when you look at other sports personalities having and taking control of their own narrative, it's imperative that walking into this industry, you would be a fool, asinine behavior if you don't take that opportunity to say, number one, I need to learn as much as I possibly can because I do not know when that time is going to call when I get tapped on my shoulder. Mm-hmm. Number two, also take this as a way to bring more attention, more eyeballs, and to also magnify your personal IP. And I knew that that's what my intentions were. Yeah. They knew that that was what my intentions were. I was counseled to say, Cam, there's not another platform on linear television in your field like ESPN. And that was truer words that could not be spoken any clearer. You can't make me hate ESPN. Yeah. What I've learned, it was an internship almost. The production value, they're the leading sports source for a reason. They have the leading talent, not only in front of the camera, but behind the scenes. Yeah. That makes sure whether it's a live show or whether it's in studio, that they are always on the cutting edge of topics and information, and also how it's rolled out. Yeah. So when the news came about, yes, I felt like anybody else would.
Because I was going to say, did you see it coming?
I didn't, but that's not the topic that I want to kind of belabor on. Yeah. The only thing I can look at now, I will not be going back to First Take. Yeah. If it was up to me, I still left with some things that you can't pay for. And that's relationships. Yeah. That's connections. That's to be able to say, man, dog, we can agree to disagree, bro. But boy, Ryan, boy, you brought the best out of me. Mm-hmm. Stephen Anthony, man, it was a plum pleasing pleasure, brother. Molly, respect you. Shay, respect you. Dan, respect you. Pete, everybody behind the scene. Quaker, everybody behind the scene. Yeah. I appreciated that because I did not have that education. I am a former athlete that did not study journalism when I had the opportunity to study it while I was studying school. Yeah. So now when you see certain things and you analyze and you start to say, like, this is how production works, you'll be a fool not to take your notes.
So let me give you my initial thoughts of what Cam is saying right now. There is no better response than what Cam is having right now. No better response. He didn't crash out. He didn't throw the network under the bus. He didn't say, I'm not effing with nobody anymore. He didn't say, I don't like this person, or now that I'm gone, let me go ahead and tell you my real thoughts about it. He didn't do none of that. And this is the perfect response. You know what he said? I appreciate them for the opportunity. This is what I learned from the whole situation. This is how I'm going to apply it. And this is what the lessons learned. And more importantly, I was able to build relationships and see things that I ultimately never had the opportunity to see before. And I got paid to do it. Cam, a lot of people criticize Cam for the way that he dressed. Maybe Cam may not necessarily be your cup of tea as far as a creator. But I am, again, able to separate the person from their content and make an objective perspective and say, but he responded to that perfectly. He handling that perfectly. Whenever you, especially if you are a visible person, and this is what I talk about when people get fired from their jobs or they get laid off and they start to crash out. And I put this at the bottom for a reason. A layoff is a reflection of a company's financial ledger. Y'all take it too personal. Why are y'all looking at this Cam Newton, Ryan Clark situation any differently than what happens in corporate America? Managers get let go all the time. People get let go all the time. Workers get let go all the time. Engineers get let go all the time. People get laid off because it makes financial sense in the company's eyes to make some adjustments and do some restructuring. 9 times out of 10, because they could just fire you if they don't care about you, right? If they think that you're doing a lackluster job, they can just get rid of you. But 9 times out of 10, when a company lets you go, it's because of, if it's not something like something legal or something big happened, like the Shannon Sharp situation or the Joy Taylor situation, 9 times out of 10, it's because of their financial ledger. Because they want to restructure, because they needed to buy the NFL network and now they're trying to cut costs. And Cam is playing this beautifully. He's playing this beautifully. He ain't crashing out. He not throwing nobody under the bus. He not tripping about it. He keeping it G. And he probably is pissed off. He probably is hurt about it. He probably is looking at that part of the income and was like, dang, that's money that I ain't going to be making no more. That's normal. But what do I tell guys all the time? We got to control our emotions. And it doesn't mean that we're not emotional to just like everybody else. But at the end of the day, you sleep on it. And then when you respond, you keep it G. You never let them see you sweat. You never crash out, because that does not benefit you. Almanac says they let all of the black men go and give the white guy $65 million extension. Well, they also gave Stephen A. $100 million, but you're not complaining about that, are you? See, we don't want to talk about that part. It's not always a race thing. It's about who brings in the most revenue, who's the person that's going to be most relevant for the network, and how can we leverage this person and get the most out of them to get a return on investment. It's not always about race. And if a white guy just so happens to bring a massive audience, then yes, you pay him $65 million. I know everybody wants to make it about race. I know everybody wants to make it, but the white boy, you don't even know his name. You don't know his numbers. You don't know what he do on a daily basis. You don't know his impact. You don't know what the audience is doing. You don't know how much money that they make when it comes to advertising, any of that. But of course, we're going to make everything a black and white issue. We can't help ourselves. We can't help ourselves. Disney is a publicly traded company. We can see all of their financials. We don't even have to guess. We can go and dig in and find out everything that Disney got going on quarter by quarter, year by year. And we can compare it to the years before. Pat McAfee is over there smoking. He killing it. Somebody said that was Ryan Clark's specialty. Listen, we can all speculate on why they got laid off, why they got let go. But I'm assuming that it's because of productivity and finances. It usually only comes down to that. Let me also say this. In most companies, they are oblivious, nor do they care about how you feel. That's a fan thing. That ain't a CEO's job. When I look at Slimmy and Molly, two people on the opposite ends of the spectrum, but both of them is incredibly important to the platform. I look at them differently. Y'all may be watching them and saying, oh my God, I'm against Molly, or oh my God, Slimmy is to this or to that, right? I look at them and I say, these are stars. Because these are the two people that jog the most emotion and wants people to cancel the other one out the most. And so what do I say? I say that these are people that are valuable to me. As a business owner, as the leader, as a CEO, as a person that runs the company, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, I go by the numbers. I go by the impact. I go by how relevant they are. I don't care about whose opinion is what. I don't care. I don't care whose opinion is what. I'm trying to figure out who has the most impact, who puts the audience on their heels, and who has the and who drives the most revenue. And it's the same thing for most other companies. Unless it's a major scandal that's popping off, you know what they go by? They say, what does the numbers look like? They're not going by whether or not you tweeted something or any of this other stuff. They don't go by that. You'd be surprised the amount of stuff that you can do and say when the numbers is numbering. They're not going by that. They're going by ratings. They don't care about your opinion or black culture and none of that. They go by who going to drive the most ratings, who going to drive the biggest numbers in here. That's what they go by. That's what they go by. And it's so funny because let's be honest. If it wasn't for me platforming these people, because most of y'all, when y'all first discovered them, y'all didn't even understand why they was on the show. I seen so many people talking stuff about Slimmy. I seen so many people talking stuff about Molly. Why are they there? Why are they this? Now it's, oh man, we can't do nothing without them. It's nice to have co-hosts that also impact the audience, that people gonna show up even if you wasn't there. It's nice. But people are emotional. And so the same thing that they hated on them for in the beginning is the things that they're going to celebrate them for now. And they're going to act like they never said nothing in the beginning.
You'll be a fool not to network and say, hey, man, how do you do this? And then even after, hey, man, I'm calling you and blah, blah, blah. Hey, don't feel sorry. This is a part of the industry that it's unfortunate that every single person, whether tenured or not, will have to face someday.
True.
Either on your terms or their terms. Your terms, I'm retired. Sometimes retire could be very sketchy because they can force you to.
Mm-hmm.
Their terms is, hey, where the company is going, you don't align with it.
Yeah.
And that's still cool. Bro, I'm a professional at what I do. And I will reiterate, you cannot, you will not make me hate my experience with ESPN. What I've been able to garner with the face of sports media and Stephen A. Smith is something that I'll take to my grave.
Yeah.
The ability to roll out information, to process information in real time, to have a vast depth of verbiage and wordplay, not just with football, but basketball, baseball, boxing, golf, tennis. That's a person that you just marvel at.
Yeah.
And contrary to what anybody may say, there will never be bad blood between me and Ryan Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying this here now. I respect the man that could call me and say, hey man, this is why I feel the way I feel. You can't hate that. You can't hate a person by being able to say, dog, you look the part, you act the part, you are the part. But still, even having all those things with you, you still may not be the right fit at that particular point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the narrative may be. Oh man, the only reason why he was there was because of, it don't matter what you may think, homeboy. It don't matter what you think, homegirl. I'm appreciative to even have had that opportunity.
For sure.
You playing it right.
Is it unfortunate?
You
Absolutely.
playing it beautifully.
But don't feel sorry for me. People go separate ways from jobs that they've been with way more than what I just went through.
KB Essentials, I love the chat. Says, funny how it's always say the right thing until Anton has to speak on the things he hates about the culture. All right, let's address this, right? My job is to speak on the things that I hate about the culture. If I had a regular job where somebody was writing my checks for me, then when I left, or if I was to get laid off, or when I was to leave that facility or to leave that opportunity, I wouldn't talk bad about my employer. I wonder how y'all not able to put two and two together and how it's so easy for people to conflate things. It's about saying the right thing and preserving the relationship from the place that you used to work at. You don't crash out just because you got laid off. I'm trying to see the relevance of what that has to do with my opinion on anything, whether it be relationships, money, the culture, politics, Democrats, Republicans, women, men, black, white. My job is to give my thoughts. That's why I get paid a lot of money. What does it have to do with the culture? What does this have to do with the price of tea in China? How are y'all able to conflate the two so easily? And I'm only using this now. I could ignore it and act like and just say, oh man, this is a crazy perspective, whatever. I get paid to give my perspective and my opinion on what's happening in the culture. Who is us? We don't want them to crash out, but you crash out when it comes to us. You rant and speak negatively about us. I speak negatively about the culture. Now, I'm going to need you to be able to separate the difference between a black person and the culture. The culture is what promotes the degenerate behavior. And let's be clear, I speak negatively about any culture that's degenerate. Just got done going off on liberal white women the other day. Just got done going off on white men cucks yesterday. Just got done going off on Indian people the other day. I went off on Cuban people and their culture and how they come over here and don't even know English. I go off on everybody, but it seems like you are the most sensitive. So apparently, I must hit a nerve. See, again, and I use this example all the time. If somebody was to say, man, these black men is broke, I don't get offended when they say these black men are broke, because I'm not broke. I talk literally about everything and everybody that I don't necessarily care for. And y'all the only ones that get offended. You know why? Because most of the time, it's true for you. And the very thing that you don't want me to talk about is exactly what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to keep on pressing right on inside of that wound. I ain't going to never let it heal. I ain't gonna never let it, and I'm gonna break that leg again until we can get it right, get it set right, and let it heal the right way. I know they don't watch the content. They come in and they say a talking point that they heard from somebody else that did a reaction video to me. They're not giving no original thought. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Here's the other question that I have for you, BK Essentials. What did I say that's not true? Don't tell me about how you feel about what I said. Tell me what I said that's not true. The women don't even complain no more. They be like, man, that's just Anton holding us accountable. You want us to do better. It's the Maddies. The Maddies be crashing out. It's the Maddies, bro. Y'all said, when did we become so sensitive? When we got raised by our mamas and we didn't have our fathers playing a strong role in our life. Got the personalities of our mothers and look just like our daddies. That's what happens. Let me see if there's anything else to mine out before we go over to Stephen A. Smith's response. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to go over to the autopsy report.
But own your own. To any former athlete that's out there that see this, listen, bro. Listen, sis. Hey, get you your own platform because it'll be hard to remove you from that.
Because what does that make you feel like to have your own platform? Like when you walk into something that...
I'm going to keep it 100 though. Cam is right and he's wrong. Some people not good on their own, bro. I done seen plenty of people that break away, go and do their own thing, and they no good by themselves. And I ain't talking about from me. I'm talking about in general. Skip and Shannon was good together. Skip is trash by himself, in my opinion. Joy Taylor maybe have fit in as a host on Fox Sports, but Joy Taylor's too personal is trash. You can have your own, but it don't mean that it's going to be good. Some people are Robins. Some people are good behind the scenes. Some people were propped up from the job that they were on because it was a huge platform. Then that was all we had to watch at the time. But everybody is not good by themselves. Talk about it, A-Dun. You said it, not me. It's the truth. Some people are not good by themselves. That's just the truth. Agreed, Fa. That too. Everybody can't do what we do. It's hard. Man, listen. It is hard. It is very, very difficult. Very difficult. People underestimate the level of intelligence, dedication, perseverance, entertainment that it takes. I sit before you and I give you a 4-hour unscripted live show in the morning, and then I give you at least a 3 to 4 hour unscripted live show in the evening. Do you know how difficult it is? And we're growing, as crazy as that may sound to people. Everybody keeps saying, oh man, the streaming is going oversaturated. We growing more than we ever have before. I don't think that people know how difficult it is to sit by yourself looking at a camera and entertaining people. Making them laugh, doing jokes, skits, impersonations, all of that type of stuff. You don't think about it because it just flows naturally. And that's just what we talk about on the show. Because hey man, it's just Anton, he do it. But when you can see it when you compare it to other people and you see how boring they are, you go to other people's live streams and you like, yeah, this is a kind of stale. You don't appreciate it when you in it because you've created your expectations based off of how good we are on a daily basis. But when you see other people do it, you're like, yeah, Let me go on back over to the MMS. Let me go on back over to room 9. Because it takes a different type of work ethic, a different type of entertainer. Joe Budden said it before. He said, man, doing something by yourself, streaming by yourself, creating a show by yourself is hard. It's very, very hard. It's hard. We make it look easy because we good at what we do. Put a camera in front of somebody. Look at what Skip. When Skip did his show, the Skip Bayless show, keeping it 100. Trash. It was like, yeah, this ain't. But then they be having all of them behind the scene producers. They write scripts for these people. They produce the show. They pick the topics. They have all of the camera work. They zoom in and zoom out. They pull the different people and try to put them together. That's a talent. That's a talent. Have y'all ever seen people that just throw a bunch of people up on a panel and it's like, oh man, this is gonna be good, and it just be a disaster? It don't even be good. But when you put the right people with the right people under the right umbrella on the right platform, it works. It works. And some people are not, they don't have the ability to do it. They don't.
You have created. What does that feel like, and what does that give you the option to do?
It's a constant. It's a constant of work you have to pour into your team. That was a job that I tried to do at a high level. This Iconic Saga, 4th and 1, Funky Friday, anything content camp, that's my passion.
Mm-hmm.
I so happen to get paid from that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more passionate about those things because when I talk to the team in pre-production, the Hassans, the Billies, the Hughes, whether it's John A on Funky Friday, when I talk with the team, Jimbo, VJ, you got shit. It don't matter.
They be having whole teams and whole people around them that's putting this together. I see y'all ever seen a dude that set up Shannon Sharp's thing before he starts streaming at night? It's a guy, regardless of where Shannon Sharp is, what hotel room or whatever, he comes in and he does a thing where he sets up Shannon Sharp's whole situation. Y'all never, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me mute it because I don't want to play the music. You know how much work? There's people that be working behind the scenes and doing this type of stuff all the time. This is the stuff I watch. I be watching behind the scenes to see what's happening, to know what's going on. I be wanting to know how people are doing what they do. That's what I learned. Dr. Phil was awesome in the promotion and the visibility that came along with it. But Dr. Phil was more awesome at giving me a tour of the whole facility and showing me how they do what they do and the level of effort that goes into it. That's what I really learned. That's what I was really focusing on. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these soups. High Tolerance says, salute AD and the Bag Chaser. Shout out to Mimi for dropping a game-changing gem. Locking the primetime slot will significantly galvanize your viewership. It's a win-win. Health is everything. Listen. High Tolerance. I agree with you. I agree with Mimi. I do not disagree. I am like 98% on y'all side on this. The other part that I wanted that I'm saying is We have to have a discussion by the team. I don't just do stuff without getting feedback and input by other people. I need to know what everybody else is talking about. All right? I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't disagree with you. Tony Esquire says, Cam's professional reaction is exactly why ESPN will bring him back most likely within a calendar year. I operate the same way as a federal employee. See, some of us get it. Some of us get it. Hey, shout out to BSU. BS Unartistic 5000. Shout out to you, big dog. Says, grab a coffee and bagels for you and your staff. We enjoy your content. Setting up for a poetic kickback event in Jacksonville, Florida. Doors open up at 7 p.m. Showtime is at 9:04. Our staff listens to your content, causing great intellectual debates. And let me give a shout out to B and Son. Shout out to y'all down there in Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, when I come to Jacksonville, even if I'm just visiting, I need to come and see y'all. I'm coming to see y'all. I'm coming to see y'all. Shout out to y'all, all of my people down there in Jacksonville. It'd be hard getting into y'all airport. I got to fly in through Atlanta, but I rock with y'all. Shout out to you and the staff. Shout out to everybody. Manny Plays PC says he's doing it right. Bet Cam is the first call if and when ESPN start hiring old talent back. High Tolerance. What up, High Tolerance? Crump stumbling and bumbling through Nolan Wells' autopsy presser is embarrassing. Oh, we going to talk about it. I'm going to play it. Graphic info disclosed. Gasping and screaming like the Saints getting fanned down with the paper sticks on Sunday morning is a total fiasco. Ali Ibrahim says, hey, AD, how do we keep cool when people trigger us? You gotta not care, bro. You gotta not care. You know when my relationship started getting better is when I stopped letting my emotions control me. I stopped caring about certain things. And I say this all the time, and it's applicable even in corporate America. It's applicable with your friends. It's applicable in your business. And I say that I focus 98%, 99% of my energy on the things that I like about you, and 1 to 2% of my energy on the things that I don't. I focus 98% of my energy on the thing that I like about you. Meaning, let's say, for example, let's because I always like to break it down from a relationship perspective, right? Let's say, for example, that you meet this girl. Now, if you comparing her to this other chick that you're talking to, or if you're comparing her to a past relationship, she might not have a chance. She genuinely may not have a chance. But you know what I do? I meet people where they are. I'm not trying to convince dudes in the hood to do the same things that I'm telling the bag chasers when we live streaming on Stock Club. I meet people where they are. And you know what I like doing? When I go over and I kick in with people from the hood? Chopping it up about the things that they like chopping it up about. When I go and I visit my family, I don't talk about politics or relationships or debate them in the same way that I do on this show. You know what we talk about? Basketball, good food. Oh, man, I can't believe it, dog. You was over there tripping off of that? Oh, man, that's so crazy. We be cracking up over Thanksgiving dinner. When you meet this chick, you keep on trying to hold her to the same standards that you holding this chick that you looked at as wifey. For what? She's there to have a good time. Enjoy it. Have a good time. Go to the show. Go and do whatever it is that y'all want to do. And keep it moving. Hangman TV Mounting is very, very concerned about Slimmy. Shout out to you, Ali Ibrahim. I'm gonna get to back to the super chats in a second. What do you say when Slimmy is affecting other cast members? Slimmy is not affecting anybody. Slimmy is great, and he knows what he's doing. And the other people that's on the show are doing well, and they doing just fine. And I would suggest that people observing it look at it as entertainment and don't take it personal. Slimmy is fine. Molly is fine. I just called her. Don't you see how she happy? Everybody cool. I don't force nobody to do nothing. I don't force nobody to say nothing, and I don't force anybody to not say nothing. That's my solution, bro. Daniel, shout out to Daniel. Says, hey, Anton, did you see the news of Milky Cheryl admitting to finding 6,000 illegals registered to vote from the DMV? She calling it a glitch in the software and is blaming the previous governor of New Jersey. I didn't see it. Send it to me. Send it to me, big dog. Tony Esquire says, I remember what happened to Tisha Campbell when she left Martin. Not as easy as yeah, everybody ain't built like that. Everybody can't get it. Everybody can't get it. Yeah, people would take stuff personal, bro. Slimmy is living his life. Slimmy is doing well. Slimmy has got money. Slimmy getting to it. Quentin getting money. Quentin is getting to it. And we have a good time, man. We have a great time. All right, bro. Let's get into the Stephen A. Smith's perspective about how things played out. And then we'll get over to, we might have to do one more story before we do the autopsy, because I'm thinking that the autopsy of Nolan Wells conversation is going to take a little bit longer. But make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
What's up, everybody? It's your man, Stephen A. Smith here. It's a rough day. Rough day, to say the least. Working at ESPN. We all know the news right now. No need to delay the obvious. My man, Ryan Clark, for ESPN is gone. He was let go by ESPN yesterday. There's a lot of noise circulating throughout social media and beyond about how he found out. He was on the air doing NFL Live when he was notified, and various reports out there were saying that, ESPN was concerned as a result of knowing that the information had leaked, that he would find out while he was on the air from somebody else, so they wanted to make sure he heard from them or whatever. I don't know all those details. And to be quite honest with you, I don't care. What I care about is that my brother, Ryan Clark, a person that I consider to be arguably the best NFL analyst in America, is no longer a member of ESPN. And I can't even tell y'all how much that hurts. He's a man, and so he's going to handle it the way men do. And we understand that. But I'm going to miss him. I am not happy about this decision one bit. The bosses know I'm not happy about this decision. I've made that very, very clear. But it's also important that myself and anybody else in the world of business be grown-ups and understand that these are the kind of things that happen when layoffs happen. It's Tuesday, and by the end of this day, you're going to hear about a lot more folks getting laid off. People that are my colleagues, my contemporaries. For all I know, and I don't know the names yet, but for all I know, some more of my friends are going to be gone. The only thing that I can definitively say to you is that there's nobody that's going to be let go that was more of a friend and a brother to me than Ryan Clark. I don't know how many times I have to say this. I don't care whether people agree or disagree. When I debate, I think about two things. This is why I believe I've never lost a debate, because I'm either right or I'm edified because I've learned from somebody who was more right than me. And I walk away from the debate and the conversation more educated, more informed, more edified than I ever thought possible. And that's why I feel that I've never lost a debate. Working with somebody like Ryan Clark, anytime I talked about the NFL, anytime I talked about life, I walked away feeling that way about him because I had just finished talking with him or debating with him or arguing with him about something because the brother's that smart. He's that conscientious. He's that thoughtful. He's that sincere. He's that real. He's that authentic. And over the last few hours, I had to really, really refrain. Damn near got blisters on my tongue and my fingers from biting my tongue and biting my fingers, from refraining from going after folks when I saw how people were talking about him. I was like, they don't know him at all. They don't know him at all. And it's a real shame, some of the things that people will try to say, some of the narratives they'll try to create. And as I was alluding to just a second ago, like I said, when I don't care, it doesn't bother me when people disagree with me. Because that's what stirs the cup and that's what makes all of us better. It only bothers me when they get personal.
What Stephen A. Smith has to do is he has to stop being the spokesperson for everybody that he works with or other people that he may have had an impact on putting on. What Stephen A. Smith got to understand is that because they try to make him out to be the villain because he's the person that got a big deal, that got one of the biggest deals over there at ESPN. And what Stephen A. Smith, again, has to stop doing is feeling as though he has to qualify why or why not another person is impacted by what Disney and ESPN executives are doing. The Disney and the ESPN executives are not coming out and making those statements, and they're not having no explanation. They just doing whatever it is that they're going to do, and they're going to make the adjustments that they got to make. But we feel like Stephen A., for whatever reason, owes us an explanation on what's going on with somebody else, and he not the person that write the checks. I don't know why Stephen A. feels the need to have to apologize or qualify or even make his voice felt when it comes to other people and how they're impacted at the company. He don't owe nobody nothing. He don't owe nobody anything, not one thing at all. Now, if he's doing it for content, then that's one thing. But Stephen A., every man got to stand on their own too, and don't nobody owe nobody nothing. And for whatever reason, we're holding him more accountable about what is happening at a company that he also works for than the very people that's running the company. Do you think that Jason Whitlock was right about Stephen A. Smith, or he was just hating on his motion? What did Jason Whitlock say? All right, Daniel, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm going to read that super chat shortly. What did Jason Whitlock say? What did he say? I seen he did a video where he was talking about Ryan Clark yesterday. I didn't see him say anything about Stephen A. Smith.
And when they're ill-informed and they get personal, there's nothing worse than that. And Ryan Clark is...
And let me also say this too, before we hear a little bit more of what Stephen A. Smith is saying. I don't know why he does this, and I'm a call him and talk to him, and I'm going to tell him this personally. He got to stop going to bat for other people. I don't know why he feels the need to have to go to bat or hold people down or all of this other stuff. Stephen A. has to stop going to bat for other people. These are grown men and grown women, and they got to stand on their own too, because I'm not sure that anybody is going to come to Stephen A.'s rescue if he was the person that was on the other side of this. He got to stop going to bat for other people. That's going to, in the end, it'll hurt him. It's going to burn him. And he going to feel hurt, right? He going to feel hurt because that's why he be in his feelings a lot of times. Because he'll hear people talking about him or talking negatively about him or saying stuff about him, and you're not going to get people to not talk negatively about you. You can't defend or qualify every single person. You can't try to help every single person because they don't even have the same sentiment about you. Yeah, nobody defends Stephen. Man, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I probably defend Stephen A more than everybody else. I'm keeping it 1,000. I never, ever. I see players coming at him. I see content creators coming at him. I see former players coming at him. I see black women coming at him. I see all kind of people. Now, I may be objective enough to say I disagree with your talking point on this, but I'll be defending Stephen A. Smith, and people be like, why are you defending him? Because I actually think that he's a good person in real life. I really do. His character speaks to how good of a person he really is, and I think that that's the very thing that can come back and bite him. I actually be defending him like, nah, he really, this and that, this and that. But the people don't be coming for him. But it's hard when you at the top of the mountain. When you the person that got the 7, 8-figure, 9-figure contract, whatever the contract is that he got, when you got the contract, people look at you as the target. They feel like, oh man, you the person that we got to hold accountable if anything happened. They don't go and talk to the executives. They don't. They don't go and talk to the executives. Nobody actually defends Stephen A. And it actually aggravates me. It does. It does. He done did too much for too many people, and not enough people actually come out ahead of time. Don't wait for something to happen before you give somebody their flowers. You know what? I mean, he always been there for everybody else. No. Give him, whenever I do an interview with Stephen A., whenever I do a debate with Stephen A., one of the things that I always do is right then and there, I say, before and afterwards, I say, you know what? You deserve your flowers right now. This is how great you are. I don't really care about what the sentiment or what it is and all of that. And I understand that it brings eyes and visibility and all of that controversy. But I want you to know that you are a phenomenal person and you got it out the mud. And I got a tremendous amount of respect for you. I don't know why he feel like he got to defend people.
Somebody that was a man amongst boys when it came to stuff like that, because contrary to popular belief, there's nothing that he'd say on social media or on television that he wouldn't tell you to your face if that's how he felt. And he would never hesitate to let you know where he stood. Does that mean he was perfect? No. Does that mean he was right all the time? No. But he was conscientious and he was thoughtful. And he's not somebody that I just loved working with. He's somebody that I love, period. That I will always be here for. In every way, shape, form imaginable that I can. I just wish that I could have been in enough of an influential or powerful position to prevent his exit from happening.
He shouldn't. Listen, Stephen A., when you see this, I want you to take this advice. Stop feeling bad for the things that happen to other people that's beyond your control. If you was to have something to do with it, that's a different conversation. Stop feeling bad when things happen to other people that's beyond your control. You got your own family. I seen your daughter giving you hell the other day. They sent me the clip, and I watched the clip, and I said, oh, he got his own problems that he got to deal with. This just shows you that all of us, no matter how much money you got, still got problems. You got a daughter that you got to wrangle in. She said, I'm going to put you in a home. You got a whole daughter that you got to deal with. You don't have time to be focusing on Ryan or Cam or anybody else that's in your sphere. You got your own headaches, big dog. You got your own headaches to worry about.
But that's where you have to get to a point where you recognize what being an adult in the room is all about. When we think about ESPN, first of all, let me be very, very clear. I can disagree with my employers. What you're not going to get me to do is insult my employers. Business is business. And whether we like it or not, those people who made the decisions, whether it's a Ryan Clark or a host of other people, are paid to make those decisions. It's in an enviable position to be in. This ain't the days when ESPN could just hire and hire and hire some more without ever having to let go or lay off anybody. Those days are long gone. I'm looking at notes here, and I'm thinking about May of 2013 when ESPN laid off 400 employees, 5% of its workforce. And it was the network's first sizable staff reduction since 2009 when ESPN had laid off 100 people. I'm thinking about October 2015 when ESPN had about 8,000 employees, but 350 cuts represented a bit over 4% of their workforce.
ESPN, just like a lot of these other networks, are top heavy. And if they want to be profitable, they're going to have to operate they're going to have to operate like they're a startup. It's the only way. It's the only way that you're going to survive in these times is that you gotta operate like a startup, and you have to have your business aligned with what the people want. If you're not operating like a startup, you in trouble. Keeping it 100 with you. If you're not operating like a startup, you're going to be in trouble because the places that are operating like startups are the ones that are winning. And they're going to be taking lunch and kicking names and all of the whatever, the babies, taking names and kicking butt babies, whatever. You can't if you're not lean, and again, I'm looking at this from a business perspective. I know that some people disagree with me on how, some of these places go about handling situations. If you're not lean, then you are going to be in trouble.
Reduced.
8,000 employees? Nah.
I'm thinking about April of 2017.
They don't want me to come and look at stuff. They don't want me to come and
guys like the great Ed.
They don't want me to come in and start executing on my vision for what a company would look like, because we will be lean.
Werder. And my buddy Danny Cannell. And Trent Dilfer, who was doing a good job for us, along with others like Jason Stark and others that were laid off. I'm thinking about November of 2017.
Let me go back to some of these people. Because the question that I then have for a lot of these people is, what have they done since they got laid off? Most of these people are not doing anything since they got laid off. Most of these people don't have nothing going on since they got laid off.
That were laid off. I'm thinking about November of 2017 when another 150 cuts came about, roughly 2% of the workforce. That was mostly in production, digital content, and technology, but it happened. I'm thinking about that. What about November 2020 when President Jimmy Pitaro announced that 300 jobs would be cut with another 200 open positions eliminated? Or in June of 2023, when on-air personalities like Jeff Van Gundy, my brother Mark Jackson.
You know how, ESPN is starting to flounder a little bit, but they're facing a lot more competition. ESPN needs to go hunting for good creators that already have an audience, a following, and a platform, and that's how they need to source out. If I'm ESPN, I'm contracting out everything. I'm not even having nothing in house. I'm moving just like an executive that's out there scouting for talent. I'm not trying to bring in individuals. I'm not trying to pair people. I'm going to give people a budget and say, do what you do. Fa Brown says, 80, did you see Acho blame Stephen A for Ryan getting let go and saying he should have taken a pay cut? Under no circumstances do anybody take a pay cut. Let me be clear. I don't even care if we're talking about basketball and NBA players taking a pay cut so that they can go and get more talent for you guys to win a championship. Under no circumstances, we are chasers, and so I'm going to look at this completely on a different level. Under no circumstances do you take a pay cut. You get as much as you possibly can out of the building. Why don't Bob Iger take a pay cut? How come y'all not telling the executives to take a pay cut? Y'all always want somebody to take a pay cut. What is it? What was the clip? Speak easy. Videos. Let's see. I'm looking for the video. I'm looking for it. The Ryan Clark fired one? Is that the one that he talked about it? Oh, Stephen F. should have saved Ryan. All right, so let's look at that.
ESPN layoffs, as it was reported, Cam Newton allegedly has been fired in the biggest layoff in the network's history. Ryan Clark also, after being let go yesterday while live on air, ended up saying, sending prayers and love to all those laid off. Now,
pick more or less. And that's what's weird to me, Stephen A. So much to say on this. Ryan has no issue with Stephen A. Smith, so I, by proxy, will have no issue with Stephen A. Smith. But Stephen A. Smith could have stopped this. And that's what's weird to me about seeing this apology is, Stephen A., you both have enough power to go to the executives and say, hey, yo, I don't want him to get fired. And B, you have enough power and fiscal responsibility and freedom to say, hey, yo, I will do whatever is in my power to make sure they don't stop this. And so, again, everybody different, but I'm by no stretch of the imagination have the power Stephen A. Smith had. But at a previous network, on a previous show, there was a dude in a contract dispute that I was trying to get on the show. Dude wanted $25K more. I was like, okay, I'm making $800, $825, $850 over the course of year by year, right? That's what I'm making. And so I'm like, no, hold on. I'm like, take 25 away from me and give it to him. Because if he's on the show will be better. Eventually my contract will be up and we'll all make more money. So what do I need this extra 25 for? Just give if he's at 375 and he wants 400, and 400 is his sticking point. Hey, Acho, I need 400 to come on this show. What the hell I need the extra 25 for?
Because it's my 25 and I'm not taking no pay cuts for nobody. I'm not taking no pay cuts from nobody at all. At all, whatsoever. I don't care what y'all budget is. I don't care what you got going on. I don't care what he got going on. If y'all can't find an extra $25,000, then we just gonna have to run this show up by themselves. But I'm not taking a pay cut for somebody else to come on a platform. Under no circumstances. At all. And it's a, no. Mm-mm. And it's a big difference between taking a $25,000 pay cut and taking a $2 million pay cut. I'm not taking no pay cut. What is this? Are we family or something? Nah. No. No. We can go and find out how to make some more money somewhere else, but it certainly can't come out of my pay. I don't care what I make. I don't care what I make at all. And I make way more than $875, way more than $900, way more than $1 million a year. And I'm not taking a $25,000 pay cut under no circumstances. You can forget it. And I show my W-2s. I show my 1040s. I show my bank account. I show all of that. Under no circumstance am I taking a pay cut. And this is so crazy how he's sitting here telling somebody else what to do with their money. Y'all know how dangerous this is for other people to tell somebody how much money that they should leave on the table for somebody else? Y'all know how crazy that is? You know how insane it is to tell somebody, hey, man, listen, you should have gave them some of your money. You should have came out of your money for it. The smartest dude, listen, you want to know who the smartest person was? Somebody says Dwayne Wade took a pay cut to win a championship. You know who the smartest people in the NBA, in my opinion, was? Gilbert Arenas, Carmelo Anthony, everybody that got a max deal. Everybody that got a max deal. Paul George. A lot of people hate him because they say Paul George don't show up during the playoffs. Man, Paul George made more money than all of these dudes put together sometimes. Man, listen, y'all could talk all of that nonsense if y'all want to. At the end of the day, this is a round circle that we putting through a hole. I'm going to get my money, and I don't care nothing. Listen, if we get the trophy, we get the trophy. That's extra. But I'm here to make money. I am not here to do any of this other stuff. If they said, listen, we going to give you a bag, I'm going to get my bag. What you talking about? Taking a pay cut to play together. What are we, in middle school? I'm a grown man. Everybody keep telling you to take a pay cut. Hey, man, take a pay cut. You take a pay cut. You do it for free. Do it like an intern. Take a pay cut. Get the hell out of here.
You take the 25 and you come on a show. The show's going to grow. He ended up coming on the show. We had record-setting numbers. That show had never done as well as it had ever done since we had been on the show. Yeah. We all get new contracts, and everybody got more money.
Everybody eats.
And this is me making $800,000. What the hell is that? That's laughable money compared to the $20 million Stephen A. is making. Mm-hmm. So I say all that to say,
it doesn't matter, bro. You can't count somebody else's money. Stop counting other people's money and thinking that they supposed to do X, Y, and Z with it. No.
Stephen A.'s responsibility. I'm just saying if little old Emmanuel Acho can think about that and do that and be like, you know what? This dude's going to make this show, of which I am the quote-unquote face of, better. Stephen A., you coming on in mourning and, man, I'm sad Ryan's gone. Stephen A., you could have fixed it. No obligation. And Ryan ain't mad at you, so I ain't mad at you. It just felt weird to me watching that 2-5.
I mean, but we come from that world where that happens. Where the star player, the main guy, one of his homeboys gets cut. Yeah, the quarterback probably could have spoke up, but that's not really his job. Another thing is, I don't know, when y'all go to the airport, right, and you're waiting for your flight at your gate, what's on TV sometimes? Sports?
Yeah.
Which channel's on?
ESPN.
It's sometimes people not even watching it. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, it don't matter who they bring on ESPN, they are going to watch ESPN. You know why? Because that's the main spot.
That's the sports channel.
It's the main spot to watch.
Yeah.
So no matter if it's Cam, if it's Acho, if it's Care Bear, if it's Trey.
Well, why you say it like that?
No, because most people want. Well, not everybody. Anyway, they're gonna watch ESPN because what it is.
Crazy.
So it's not even a Ryan Clark situation. That's the biggest brand. So I don't feel bad. People get fired every day.
Yeah.
And I think Ryan has enough talent, to get back on. He has his own platform. Yeah. With the pivot, you know what I mean? So he's gonna be solid. I'm sure another network is gonna try to pick him up, but I ain't gonna make this a Stephen A. Smith conversation.
Do you think there's you were in Philly, and I might be wrong. I might be wrong by
Finally, somebody with some sense.
2 years. You might have been in Philly. Yeah, I'm wrong. But you know the details. T.O., if I'm not mistaken, was very upset with McNabb.
Yeah.
Because McNabb was vocal about Bryant Westbrook, the running back who started before you arrived, about Bryant Westbrook getting a contract extension. But when it was time for T.O. to get a contract extension, McNabb, at least as T.O. puts it and as Joe Banner has put it to me, McNabb didn't really say much. But McNabb, you're the quarterback, you're the face of the franchise. Stephen A., you're the quarterback, you're the face of the franchise, along with Pat McAfee. Stephen A. in this situation is the Donovan McNabb. Ryan Clark or Cam Newton, they are the T.O. In my mind, Stephen A., Donovan McNabb, does have the power and authority to, if he wants to.
And this is in your mind. Nobody cares about what's in your mind. ESPN made a decision. The executives made a decision. And so they are the ones that should be held responsible, whether we like it or not.
Either take pay cut, wild thought, but possible, or just be like, hey, coach, ESPN executives, I don't want this player gone. I have the biggest show on the network in First Take. I don't want this player gone. Shady, in your experience, both as a pro athlete and now as a businessman, do you think there's any responsibility on Stephen A. to say, hey, I don't want him gone?
We don't know how close they were. I work with people all the time that I'm not really their coaches with. We got teammates that, you know what I'm saying, his job is to do what I got to do. I'm like, all right, cool. But my problem is, why is Stephen A. Smith's obligation to make sure they keep this guy, that guy?
Thank you. Somebody with some logic that can actually speak to this situation reasonably.
Why? Because if Ryan is there or not there, it don't move the needle. That's the difference. If I got a lineman, right, or big time receiver, we gotta keep him because he's gonna help me get out this 8-man fronts. Or this lineman gonna make sure they block. We gonna win. But it don't matter because, like I just told y'all, you go to any airport, any bars, ESPN's always on there. So the numbers are not gonna be affected by Ryan leaving.
Yeah,
by Cam leaving.
The thing.
It's always gonna be popping.
Do you guys think
real quick before you go, yo? When Skip was there, it was jumping. Yeah. It's still jumping.
Yeah.
I mean, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, do you guys?
Yeah, I agree with him. I agree with him 100%. I think that that's a bad take to say that somebody else is supposed to take a pay cut because of how you feel. Nah, we don't do that. I don't know where he from, but we don't take pay cuts over here. I want to go over to something else before I get into the music and the super chats. I want to deep dive into one more thing. See if I can get that up real quick. And then after the break, we'll get into the Nolan Wells autopsy because I got that video queued up for y'all. I got the audio fixed and everything. Influencer. There was something that happened 10 months ago. This story broke 10 months ago, and they finally solved for it. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithms. So subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications.
And now to that shooting death of a woman found on the Cross County Parkway. Memorials are growing to remember the victim, who is a mother and social media.
Now, this was the original. Let me preface this by saying that this was the original news story that broke 10 months ago about this influencer that got killed, and nobody knew how she got killed.
Influencer. News 12's Lisa LaRocca with the very latest this afternoon from Mount Vernon.
The murder of Aurelia Mija Polanco that happened right here along the Cross County Parkway has made national headlines as police continue to search for her killer. 33-year-old Aurelia Mija Polanco, known to her more than 500,000 Instagram.
I actually remember doing a report on this and having a conversation, so it's very ironic that we go in full circle with this.
Followers, as Aurelia La Langosta was a popular media influencer. She was well known in the New York City nightclub scene where she worked at several hotspots. Her account featured posts of her lifestyle, traveling, involvement in local nightlife, as well as the rap and hip-hop world. She even appeared in a music video by rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine. Her death on Sunday, August 23rd has sent shockwaves throughout the social media world. A memorial in the Bronx in front of an Inwood neighborhood nightclub continues to grow with candles, messages, and more. Westchester County Police were called to check on a disabled vehicle on the eastbound shoulder at exit 7 on the Cross County Parkway around 8 a.m. They found Mija Polanco dead behind the wheel. Investigators say she'd been shot and they believe she was targeted. Family members say she'd left her job at Icon, New York on Sunday morning around 4:30 a.m. And the media star reportedly rented an apartment at the new building 42 Broad located just off the exit. So far, no arrests have been announced by investigators. We're told Aurelia Mija Polanco was the mother of 2 children.
Now, investigators say there are several law enforcement agencies working together on this case. Of course, we'll continue to update you on the investigation.
Okay, so I wanted to bring y'all up to speed on what was happening because I remember actually doing a breakdown of this, and if I'm not mistaken, there was a lot of famous people. I don't want to say no names, but there was a lot of famous people that was like, "Yo, I can't believe she died. Rest in peace." And so she was in the scene. She was in the spots. She was in New York. She was, they all say influencers. I'm not going to speak negatively in any way, shape, or form about people that passed away. But a lot of people are labeled as influencers. They just out here, right? They out here, they in the mix. They know a lot of people. They getting mixy inside of the spots. And so, that's what it is. And this is the update to it.
We're in Mount Vernon, Westchester County. Lisa LaRocca, News 12.
We have some major developments in the case of a social media influencer gunned down on the Cross County Parkway. 6 men now face federal charges in her death. Tony Aiello reports now that the task force working this case cast a wide net, and now almost a dozen alleged gang members are charged in a total of 5 homicides.
It was a Sunday morning last August when nightlife influencer Ariela Mejia Polanco was shot dead in her Mercedes G-Wagon on the Cross County, just yards from her Mount Vernon home. Investigators now believe 6 alleged members of a violent street gang targeted her for a carjacking. They may have seen her flashy posts on Instagram.
She was an innocent young woman, unknown to any of these gang members, who had the misfortune of crossing their path by pure happenstance.
Within hours, the investigation was leading into New York City.
Westchester Public Safety Commissioner Terrence Rayner says intel streaming into the county's real-time crime center was shared with the FBI Safe Streets Task Force. The investigation culminated in an indictment of 11 alleged members of the Bad Boys 7 subset of the Trinitarios street gang.
The charged gang members terrorized people across New York and New Jersey.
U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton says the indictment names 7 gang members in the August 2025 murder of Alvis Liriano in Newark. One of them, Childred Sosa, is also accused of the July 2025 murder of Frank Ellis Taveras in the Bronx. Another alleged gang member is accused of killing Gabriel Alvarez and Adam Waldropt, shot dead near Ferry Point Park in the Bronx during an attempted robbery.
This senseless violence for personal gain ended 2 lives and left 2 families devastated.
Investigators say evidence collected includes tracking devices and fake license plates. Some of the 11 alleged Trinitarios are also charged with non-fatal gang-related shootings and robbing a group of their jewelry in Fort Lee, New Jersey, jewelry worth more than $250,000. Tony Aiello, CBS News, New York.
So, what it came down to and what they found was these young guys right here was a part of a carjacking gang, and they are the ones that wind up taking this young girl's life. It's messed up. It's very, very messed up. So she just so happened to be the wrong person at the wrong space and the wrong time, and that's how she wound up losing her life. It's because young dudes that seen stuff that she had and seen her lifestyle decided that they wanted to go and not only carjack her, not only kill her, but take the stuff that they seen inside of her car. Now, I'm not sure how much I actually believe that, right? But the fact of the matter is, And this is what I keep telling women, and I'm going to warn y'all on a regular basis, and I'm going to have this conversation with y'all on a regular basis, and I'm going to keep on trying to tell y'all on a regular basis, is you have to be very careful where you move, how you move, who you moving around. And I explained to y'all how most women are not situationally aware. They don't pay attention to their surroundings. They not paying attention to the people that they're around. They don't know who's going to come after them and who's not going to come after them. And they make themselves a target. Oh, those were the victims. My bad. Those were the victims. But the fact of the matter still stands. You have to be very, very careful of who you surround yourself with, because people are, man, it's people targeting people out here every single day. You think that I'm not aware of the fact that people probably look at me as food and as meat, and they like, man, I just need to catch them slipping one time. And then people be like, Anton, why you always take off when you pause at a stoplight? It's because I'm aware. Anton, why you always walking around with security? Anton, why you always making sure that you stay in places and you beef up this and it's because I'm aware. Because I got to be on point 100% of the time, and they only got to catch me slipping a little bit at a time. They only got to catch me slipping once. And women out here living this life, y'all easier targets than the guy. Y'all are easier targets, food, meat for the guy. Easier targets for the people. That's food. That's all day food right there. All day food right there. Every time I get something new, every time I get something nice, it could be a watch, it could be a car, it could be all of that. The first thing that my people start doing is they pause and they be like, oh man, all right, you have to be careful. You can't go to this same place no more. You can't go there. You can't do this. You can't do that. And it's because they are very, very vigilant about my safety. Kane Cooper says, thank God I'm old now. What you think, that older people are exempt? I am the president. Highlight mixtapes. I'm the president of my life, and you should be the president of your life. You should be the president of your life the same way that I'm the president of my life. That's that jealousy seeping up in you. And a lot of times you can't stand it because when somebody else uses an example that they can relate to, you can't relate to it. And so you used to being a jack boy. You're not used to being a person that's actually the president of their life. So it's a little different for you. I get it. I get it. You don't get it. But K. Cooper, just because you saying, thank God I'm old now, don't change nothing. Remember when we used to do all of those reports over in California about how they was following people home and carjacking them? How they would watch and follow people that was shopping in certain stores, and then they would follow them home, and that's how they was getting them over in Cali, over on Rodale Drive and Calabasas and all of that. Kim Kardashian got robbed. Kim Kardashian got robbed. If it could happen to them, it's a possibility it can happen to anybody. If it can happen to them, it's a possibility it can happen to anybody. And women, ladies, I've been seeing a lot of women. I've been seeing a lot of ladies dying lately. Dying by their boyfriends, dying by the Jack boys, dying from a whole lot of people. I've been seeing a lot of women lose their life. They losing their life in the hot spots, New York, Miami, all of that. I've been seeing a lot of women lose their life. Y'all have to be careful. Y'all have to be careful. If the streets don't mean you well, it's not always going to work out in your favor. You got to be very, very careful. And these new boys is different. They don't care, but they'll kill you. They not just looking to take your stuff. They not just looking to rob you no more. These new boys will kill you. It's dudes out here that literally get off on killing people. They can't wait to let a trigger go. And if you've never been robbed before, you don't know how it feels to be violated. Listen, Dame says, did she not want the street life? Man, look, man, regardless of how y'all may feel about whether or not a person is in the mix or who they talking about and how they moving around, y'all got to stop thinking that people deserve to die just based off an alternative lifestyle that may not align with how you live your life. People don't deserve to just get killed by jack boys. Come on, man. What y'all on? Y'all always trying to man, listen. That conversation last night, I didn't understand it. I woke up this morning, I rewatched it. I didn't understand it. I don't understand how y'all keep on talking about the mama. What about the man? I'm still confused about that conversation last night. I am very much trying to figure out what do y'all own and how did y'all see things. People don't deserve, man. Come on, man. This woman was just, whatever she was doing, she don't deserve to just get killed and robbed. I don't wish death on people. I just don't. Bro, come on, man. Come on. She wasn't selling dope, bro. I don't know if y'all actually, let me play the story for y'all again.
Parkway. 6 men now face federal charges in her death. Tony Aiello reports now that the task force working this case cast a wide net, and now almost a dozen alleged gang members are charged in a total of 5 homicides.
It was a Sunday morning last August when nightlife influencer Ariela Mejia Polanco was shot dead in her Mercedes G-Wagon on the Cross County, just yards from her Mount Vernon home. Investigators now believe 6 alleged members of a violent street gang targeted her for a carjacking. They may have seen her flashy posts.
Nobody deserves to die because of your jealousy or your envy of somebody else's stuff. That don't have nothing to do with nothing, bro. If you in a dope game and a dope deal go wrong and you die as a result of it, that's one thing. Man, you driving down the street as an influencer and people want your stuff or they want your lifestyle and they kill you for it? Nah, bro. Nah. Nope. I don't know how y'all conflate that. I don't know how y'all look at that as the same. It's not the same. It's not. And again, multiple different things can be true. You could have probably been more situationally aware or whatever, but it doesn't mean that you were supposed to die. Does not mean that you deserve to die. Y'all gotta miss me with that, bro. Y'all wild. Y'all absolutely wild. AR is back, says, why can't it be the other cast members who are affecting Slimmy? Just saying. Purple Haze says, I think Gil scooped up LeVar Ball. Do you think Steven should do the same with Clark? Nope. Danielle says, I emailed you the link to the video of Milky. I bet. Appreciate you, big dog. Bowinkle says, Slimmy telling Molly I don't answer to you last night was classic. Hashtag masculinity. Hashtag it's a man's world. Manny Plays PC says, sounds like these monsters were going after people showing a little too much on social media. Box of Oranges says, symptoms of a sick society, always trying to, well, actually somebody's murdered. That's a fact. That's a fact. That Last Train to Paris album is incredibly slept on. Super underrated. Last Train to Paris is a gem. That album hit so hard. So shout out to Diddy Dirty Money, even though Dawn switched up on him during the trial. And Michael Jackson, Off the Wall. You know, you can go Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. That's the first song on that Michael Jackson album, man. It's like, oh man. It's so many hits that you could have picked through. And it's so many different things that you can, that you could go through as far as album selections and stuff like that. But yeah, man. Yeah, bro. It's getting it popping, man. Getting it popping. All right, y'all. We got to get back into the show. Let me read a couple of super chats and then we're going to get it popping. We're going into the Nolan Wells autopsy. Says, song Michael Jackson. See, I listened to the people. Y'all said y'all wanted Off the Wall yesterday. 3 people on live fell out once you played Michael. People love Michael Jackson. I try to culture y'all and give y'all a wide variety of stuff, but some of y'all are so close-minded, y'all don't want to listen to anything outside of what you used to listen to. I almost went with Dolph. I ain't gonna lie. Almost went with Dolph this morning. And I said, nah, I got to get this Diddy in there. So I may go with a little bit of Dolph. Let me see what I might go with tomorrow. I might hit him with a little bit of Dolph. Maybe a little Kodak Black or Corrupt. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to mix it in. We're going to mix it in. We're going to blend you with you, and we're going to have a great time. All right, y'all, let's get into this autopsy. Autopsy revealed. That's what they said. It was an autopsy reveal. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock.
Good morning. My name is Trevon Williams, Senior Vice President of Marketing Communications with the NAACP. We are here because a demand was made, a demand for transparency, a demand for answers, and a demand for ultimate justice on behalf of Nolan Wells. And that demand must be honored. Amen. For that, we're honored to pause even for a moment to respond accordingly here at our national convention. Momentarily, you will hear from renowned civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, who will provide updates on the findings of the independent autopsy that was conducted in the death of Nolan Wells. Immediately following that, we will take questions from credentialed media. We'll attempt to answer as many questions as we can. However, we want to be respectful of the fact that we do have additional programming that is going on to conclude our convention today as well. So we're asking that all press and media, if you're asking questions, please be concise. Give your name, give your media credential, and we'll go from there. But before he comes, we will have the leader of the NAACP, President Derek Johnson, to give opening remarks. President Johnson.
Good morning. Good morning. Far too often our young people are confronted with challenges, and many jurisdictions and states don't take those challenges serious. We cannot allow another individual, particularly a young black man's death, go uninvestigated. We have seen this happen over the years, not only in Mississippi, but across the country. It is unfortunate that our young people only seek to enjoy life, and as a result of participating in activities, no longer have life. For the NAACP, we take this and many other cases serious because every person matters.
I look at this so far as an because I've never seen an announcement for an autopsy reveal. Of all of the different shows that I've done and all of the news, and I'm on season 6, episode 138 or something like that, I have never in my life seen an autopsy reveal press conference. Ever. And so far, what I see this is a visibility grab and a way for them to promote their organizations, because the NAACP, in my opinion, is worthless. And this is nothing but a clown show so far. Everybody want the mic. Everybody want to get their visibility. Everybody got to get their amen on and all of that stuff. This ain't even, man, this is so crazy. What is happening right now, bro? What is happening right now? I just did a report on a woman down there in Atlanta that got shot up by her boyfriend. Don't nobody had no conversation about the killing in Memphis. How come ain't nobody talking about what's going on in Memphis? Nobody is talking about Memphis. About the boy that was under the girl's bed. How come ain't nobody going down there? How come they not talking about her and getting visibility for her so she can get her little GoFundMe thing popping off? It was a bunch of murders in Chicago over the weekend. The only reason I ain't talked about it is because there's been so much other news for me to talk about. But you got all of the who's who and the what's what pulling up so that they can get some visibility for the autopsy reveal. We ain't heard nothing about no autopsy yet.
I want to thank the Mississippi State Conference, particularly Alitra Perryman, for working with the family and supporting the family on the onset.
Got to make sure that they put their logos in the back. Got to put the logo in the front. Got to make sure that they call in a press conference. This is a promotional event so far, bro.
Because it's difficult to lose a loved one. It's even more difficult to navigate a process when all eyes are on you. And the pressure of balancing between grieving and navigating is upon you. And so for the NAACP family, this is our role, is to step in, to support when the families have an issue like this and the local officials seem not to hold people accountable. It's unfortunate when you see news reports and law enforcement officials are repeating what individuals are saying as opposed to investigate the individuals who gave you the information, because you don't know who was involved or not involved. Amen. And so narrative matters in this case. And we're saying that in Nolan Wells' situation, the narrative should not be it was an accident before there was an investigation. The narrative should not be the words of individuals who went on a boat to the island with him, but they came without him, but with his cell phone, and you don't investigate those individuals. Amen. We're not accusing anyone of anything other than the state of Mississippi and local officials. We're accusing them of being derelict in their duties. To follow up and to ensure that regardless of what happened, that there was a proper investigation so that this family and that community could be assured that if anyone was involved, they would be held accountable. And if it was
What up, Island Girl
truly an
Q?
accident, that the families will have the necessary answers that any family
What up,
deserves
Q?
in this situation.
I'm going to read that shortly.
I want to bring to the podium Attorney Benjamin Crump, a friend of mine who have stepped in to take the case and in support of the family to ensure.
Longtime mentor from Florida who helped raise so many of us, Nolan Wells. But it's not just me, it is a team effort of incredible, dedicated lawyers and investigators and paralegals. Attorney Lisa Park, attorney who you'll hear from in a few minutes, Attorney Eric Hertz, Attorney Gary, team of people who are committed, as I said, President, for you all to hear from the people who knew Nolan Wells best, so they can thank you themselves and tell you about the trials and tribulations that they have been enduring since July 4th. July 4th would never be the same for them. I bring to the podium Nolan Wells' mother and father.
Yo, this seemed like a church service, bro. Oh, man. Y'all ever been to the church service and the preacher say, I'm not going to be before you long? That means that we're going to be there for another 45 minutes, bro. That means we're going to be there for another 45 minutes. Everybody just going up there and getting their turn and introducing the next person and saying, yeah, man, this is my homeboy from way back. Come on, man. Can we get to the autopsy report?
Christine and Elmore. Please give them a warm NAACP welcome.
How was this dude so popular? He can't even speak.
First of all, I want to say thank you all so much. Thank you to President Johnson as well as Chairman Russell. This has been a difficult journey. Losing a child, it truly breaks your heart. It is a pain that is just, you can't measure it. Especially someone like Nolan, who brought so much joy and light and life to everyone. You don't find too many genuine people like him. So to lose that light at such a young age under these circumstances has been absolutely difficult, which is why we've gone this route. There's so many people out in the public asking all of these questions. But the only question that we have is what happened to our son. That is the only question. We have consistently been degraded by the public. There's been questions about our parenting, our GoFundMe, this, that, and other. I've been called a racist. I am a healthcare provider, and I take my job very seriously.
What does this have to do
I
with
love everyone. And it's been difficult for us, but we are leaning into our faith, leaning into one another, also leaning into all of you. There are not enough thank yous, not enough appreciation for what you guys have done for us. And we do. We love you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. And so it is our hope that our local authorities will do what they need to do, because us having the preliminary autopsy results and hearing nothing from them, it's heartbreaking and it's concerning, which again is why we are here, why we have asked for this help. So again, thank you all so much for your support. We appreciate you, we really do.
Every day I wake up, it's a new challenge. Knowing that a part of me I will never talk to, I will never hold, I will never play around with or get mad at, is not here anymore. Nolan brought a lot of joy to our family. He was the wittiest one out of everyone. The clown. He loved to put in the work because he wanted to be the best. He wanted to make me and his mother proud, and we were so proud of him just for being the person that he was. He was loving.
What are we
All
talking
his
about?
teachers knew him, but loved him. He walks in the room, his aura, you're automatically drawn to it. Never met an enemy. And if there were, they would eventually be friends because they would eventually bond, and it's going to be hard. He should be at football practice right now. Yeah. Calling me out to practice, Dad, I made this play, or I made that play, or I get a text with 3 or 4 videos of him doing this, running this route, making this block. And what you think, what you think I should do? And I will give my honest, because I always tell them, if anyone is going to be totally honest with you, it's going to be me. And it's not because I'm being mean, but people outside of your family are going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to know to make you better. It's going to be hard for our family from here on out. And like I said, every day is a challenge. We're going to miss our son. And like my wife said, we just want honesty. We want to know what happened to our son, because we do things that...
Christine and Nolan, Christine and Elmore, Nolan's mother and father. Before we start to go over the preliminary findings from the independent autopsy, we will hear from Attorney Lisa Park to tell you about who was the forensic pathologist who conducted the autopsy. Attorney Lisa Park.
Thank you. Dr. Roger Mitchell could not join us today, but we felt it important before we reveal and unfold this report that you understand who conducted this autopsy. Dr. Roger Mitchell is a physician and board-certified forensic pathologist with 2 decades of experience. He currently serves as the president of the National Medical Association, which is the oldest and largest group of Black physicians in the U.S. Of the department.
President Johnson, Chairman Russell, and the NAACP, because civil rights is more important than ever in the United States of America today. And so we thank you for the civil rights leaders stepping up to say that our children's lives matter now more than ever. And I want to thank all of you for getting up 8 in the morning. If people could see how many people are gathered here, they would say, you all are truly blessed to have the support of America, Christine and Elmore. And I want to thank the media for covering this matter, because they don't always cover when our children are taken away from us in highly unquestionable ways. And I do understand there's a lot of news going on in America today. I woke up to them saying LeBron James is going to announce where he's going to play basketball next year. But I'm very happy that the media said this story is just as important.
What are we doing, y'all? What are we talking about? Honestly. Like, I'm trying to figure out what are the autopsy results. I don't care about all the rest of this nonsense, all of this posturing. What does this have to do with anything? Why do we do this? Why is the community and the culture like this? Why is everybody trying to get their shine? Everybody trying to get if you here to help, then just do whatever it is that you got to do and keep it moving, man.
It's just as important. And I'm sure LeBron James and Rich Paul and, Stephon Curry and Draymond Green.
Stephon Curry? Who was Stephon Curry?
Jaylen Brown, Embiid, Maxey, Giannis, Bam, and many other players in the National Basketball Association will all agree that our children's lives are far more important than where LeBron or any other player will play next year. And so that's why I thank you all for being here, because this news is as important as any news in the United States of America, finding out why is Nolan Wells dead. And I want to thank for putting up the 100 with the pictures, what you heard. I know people said there were a lot of disturbances out there. Some believe it involved Nolan. All of those things are important to get to the truth of what happened. The fact, Christine, that the United Cajun Navy are so forthcoming. The fact that they told us, we haven't heard from any of their local officials, that Nolan was found face down, fully clothed. Well, that's significant to us because the last time we saw him on the videos, he was without a shirt. So at what point did he put on a shirt? Somebody saw something. Somebody knows something. There were almost 300, 400 people. Somebody knows something. So, Scott X, we're trying to just make sure people understand that you can call the Nolan Wells tip line. Any information stand for justice, issues having to narrate it for you and me. We can see it for ourselves. Transparency. That leads to the truth. The truth is the foundation for accountability and justice. And that's all we're seeking, as Christina Elmore said from day one. So with that, and Christina Elmore, if you all want to sit, we're about to go through this autopsy, and I know it may be a little emotional. Thank you, You're welcome to stay.
So we did all of that for nothing? Okay, hold on. I got to be able to find something. I did all of that for nothing.
Let's go through this.
All of this was for nothing. All of this was for nothing. Seriously.
Okay, let me do that right now.
This is insane. This is absolutely insane. This is why people stop going to church. This is why people stop going to church. Let me go ahead and give y'all the autopsy results. I just pulled it up myself. Enough of the foolishness, enough of all of the posturing. Let's try to deep dive into this and figure this out. All right. Nolan Wells' preliminary autopsy results reveal 7 unanswered questions about the team vanishing on the trip with friends. The independent autopsy of Nolan Wells is sparking even more questions after the preliminary findings were released Wednesday. Though the NAACP head conceded that the teen's tragic death may have been an accident. Let me just play this one more. Let me say this one more time. Though the NAACP head conceded that the teen's tragic death may have been an accident. Okay, so now that we've getting to the meat, we starting to get to the meat and potatoes, and now that we can start having a conversation, the first thing that we need to say, now that we came to that conclusion, the NAACP head came to that conclusion, is how many people are going to sit here and take back the things that they said and making this a race issue? All of the think pieces. All of the people that said, listen, don't you ever trust a white person at all. Wells' parents, now I'm just reading to you what the NAACP head conceded. All I can do is read you the information, and you guys can go from there. All right? Wells' parents had flown their 18-year-old son's body over 800 miles to Washington, D.C. for an independent autopsy following an initial postmortem in Mississippi, because everybody said that Mississippi is racist, where he was last seen alive during the 4th of July trip to Horn Island with friends. The college football player, who was found dead on July 6, 2 days after he vanished, had a 12 by 8-inch red discoloration in the back of his head, according to the autopsy performed by Dr. Roger Mitchell, president of the National Medical Association. All right, so red discoloration in soft tissue there. The red discoloration on the back of Wells' neck could indicate head trauma. However, decomposition and a lack of associated injuries meant this interpretation was also inconclusive, the report states. Wells' cause and manner of death were listed as undetermined, pending investigation with the date of the death unknown. The doctor also highlighted 7 unanswered questions in his autopsy report. These include: what were the circumstances that led to Wells entering the water? What position was the body in when found? And was there any water in the airway, which would indicate drowning? Famed civil rights attorney Ben Crump claimed that Wells' body was found face down and fully clothed, despite photos from the day showing him shirtless, wearing swim trunks. Pathologists added that he still wants to know if there's any evidence of injuries to the front of the neck or throat or evidence of brain bleed. Damage to the throat couldn't be ruled out as a cause of a contributory factor to Wells' death because it had been removed during the initial autopsy. Finally, the pathologist highlighted the need to discover the composition of Wells' stomach's contents and toxicology report findings. With the removal of the stomach as well as other organs prior to the second autopsy, examining Wells' stomach contents was unable to be carried out. Despite the unanswered questions, the NAACP conceded that it couldn't rule out that Wells' death may have been an accident. If it was truly an accident, they have the resources available to help them navigate the situation. NAACP President Derrick Johnson told the press conference, police have said nothing to foul play, at least yet, and they suspect Wells likely drowned after his friends left him left the island without him. Crump previously told ex-CNN star Don Lemon the second autopsy will reveal if Wells had any physical injuries to his body beyond drowning. Wells was laid to rest in a closed casket on Monday at a packed hometown funeral exactly 2 weeks after his body was found in the water off the barrier island. So, we got nothing. That's what we got. We got nothing. After all of that, They still come to the conclusion. Now, the police is going to be careful about this, and they're not going to jump off the bridge and say that it is or it isn't, because then they're going to be held to that, and that can come with legal repercussions and all of that, right? So the whole point is, it's nothing. People don't know anything more than what they knew previously. They did all of that posturing, all of that talking. They flew the body 800 miles away. And we still in the same spot that we was before. Rest in peace to the young boy. I hope that they get the parents get some form of solace and peace in this whole situation. And that eventually they finally figured out what's wrong with the boy. What's going on with the woman in Memphis, bro? Let me see something. Where's she locked up at? Memphis jail, where Kendra Scott is being held. I'm sorry.
This is East information, ma'am.
Hi. So I'm trying to find out information about Kendra Scott because I'm trying to figure out what's the process for bonding her out and how much is it going to cost?
Her bond is $100,000.
And what do you need? 10% of that?
Well, you call the jail. The bonding companies deal with the money part of that. If you're trying to pay 10%, the bonding company would deal with that, not the jail.
I've never gone through this process before. I'm just trying to figure out how to go about doing this. So if you can lead me down the right direction, that would be helpful.
You will need to contact a bonding company.
A bonding company? Any bonding company? So I can't actually put the money up myself and that just be the end of it?
Yeah, if you do it yourself, then it won't be 10%. It'll be the entire amount. But if you're interested in doing 10%, then it will be through a bonding company.
Why does it only take 10% through a bonding company?
You will have to ask the bonding company all those questions.
So I can call anyone in Memphis, any bonding company in Memphis?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, let me see. Let's see. This one has the highest ratings. We're going to go with that one. I just want the information. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And you don't know until you know. Let's call another company.
Thank you for calling Liberty Bear and M&M Bonding.
Hi, is this in Memphis?
Yes, it is.
Hi, my name is Anton Daniels, and I was interested in the whole situation with it was a mother. Her name was Kendra Scott, and apparently she's been held on $100,000 bond in Memphis for a case. I'm in Michigan, and
I know you're in Detroit. You got a 313 area code.
so I'm trying to
I own
figure.
a house in Berkeley, Michigan.
Do you really? Oh, so you it's
I
not.
do.
Oh, so you got a nice house.
I,
I know where that is.
yes, I own a house in Berkeley, Michigan. Fuck the taxes. But
So,
Kendra Scott, okay.
uh-huh.
What's going on with her? She's in Memphis at 100,000.
Yeah, so apparently I guess, I mean, I don't know. It's no point in going through the case, I guess, itself. But I've never gone through this, but I'm thinking about looking into helping her. And I thought that you only had to put 10%. But then when I called the information line, they said that you would have to go through a bail bonds company in order to do it.
Correct, but you still can't do 10% because you're in Michigan, sweetheart.
What does that mean?
It has to be local people who do her bond. Now, you could put money towards her bond if you know anybody locally here that can sign for her, but she has to have local co-signers in order to do her bond.
What does that all entail? So can you run me through the process?
Yes. First off, is she local or is she also from Michigan?
No, she's from Memphis.
Okay. So she needs 2 or 3 full-time working co-signers who have been on their job for a minimum of a year. They have to provide their most recent paycheck stubs. If any of them provide money, they have to provide their bank statements, their 401ks, or whatever, showing that the money was in the accounts already. If you provide money, we'll need a copy of your bank statement. But because it's a $100,000 bond, she has to have a special hearing that's called a source hearing. And only her attorney can schedule that. So if she doesn't have a paid attorney yet, first and foremost, that's what you need to do, is hire her an attorney.
Okay.
And then you could talk to the attorney about the source hearing, and he can help you break it down a lot better or try to lower her bond. But first and foremost, I recommend a paid attorney.
Okay. So she needs an attorney, and then we got to figure out a way to basically be able to get her out.
Correct. But if you can't bond her out, just let her have the court-appointed attorneys, because court-appointed attorneys are good too, but they can't schedule a source hearing.
Why can't they?
Judges in Memphis believe that if you can afford to bond out, you can afford an attorney, and that's the only one will.
That's messed up.
Well, we know it. As bonding companies, we know it, but that's the rule of thumb.
So basically, you got to go through all of this stuff and have all of this different paperwork. You got to be able to justify where the funds is coming from in order to bond her out, and you have to be from Memphis.
Yep. Yes.
What kind of system is this?
It's not Detroit system.
So what happens if she violates something? Let's say, for example, I put the money up and I bond her out, right? What happens? Do I get my money back once the whole case?
The 10% is lost.
So you basically giving a donation.
You are 100% given a donation, and if it's not worth that squeeze, so if you're not married to it, it's not even, hell, I wouldn't even buy my own husband out, and I'm married to it for 25 years. So, like, not to be a bitch and not to lose money, but if it ain't worth it, that's everybody's call on what they feel is worth it. But me personally, I won't even buy my husband out.
So what if you put up the whole 100,000?
Now, if you put, so in that case, you're actually putting up $110,037. So you're still going to lose $10,037.
You losing no matter what.
Yeah, but the $100,000 you get back whether she's found guilty or not guilty.
So you lose it no matter what. So basically, the best process to go through it, what you're telling me is that she need an attorney.
A good attorney.
She need an attorney, and then after that, you got to figure out a way to. Is an attorney gonna figure out a way to get her bond out, or do I still have to do that?
The attorney will determine if her bond can get lowered first. First and foremost, they can determine, and if it can't get lowered, then that's when you need to say to whoever reached out to you all the way in Michigan, who's down there to vouch for her before I go giving money.
Mm-hmm.
because you want to make sure that the people down here in Memphis are going to ensure that she actually shows up to court.
Yeah. And if she doesn't, then
if you put your name on the bond, which you can't because you're in Michigan, but your money, though, you still don't want to put money if she's not going to do right. Because essentially you're going to be like, why did I even help these people out when she didn't even show up to court?
Yeah.
I can't go after you because your name's not going on the bond. But do you really want to spend money if you can't ensure that she's going to do what she's supposed to do and you put money down for nothing? I mean, if you just want to waste money, I'll give you my address and you can send me a check.
Not with you living in Berkeley.
right. Well, wait a minute. I got to pay my Berkeley taxes. You can send it to the
property
city
taxes
of
in
Berkeley.
is crazy.
Oh, my fucking God. And since I don't live there for 180 days out of the year, I got to pay non-residential.
Oh, so it's up probably about 50% more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
more,
because
actually,
they do the same
75%
thing.
more.
They do the same thing in West Bloomfield, Birmingham, so on and so forth.
They sure do. Of course, you know those name brands. I almost call those name brands. Those name towns are they like their money.
Yeah, they do.
So, yeah, I was born and raised 1 mile from 8 Mile. If you've heard of Ferndale,
yep,
which
Ferndale,
is now known as
Oak
Gaydale.
Park,
Yeah, I was raised in Ferndale.
Yeah, Ferndale has become very sassy lately.
Well, because it's the rich gay people.
Yeah, that's true.
But hey, you know what? They're making a great little town of it, surprisingly. So that's good because it was going downhill for a while.
Yeah, they spending a lot of money. They redid Cosmos, all of that type of stuff.
They did redo Cosmos.
Yep, they did.
But
Yep, they did.
They sure did. So it's a lot for you to think about if you really want to help whoever's reaching out to you in regards to money, because anything of the 10,000 is lost.
Okay. Well,
okay.
Yeah, I'm not as concerned about the money. I just want to make sure that she get a fair deal.
A good attorney then.
What's your name again? I'm sorry.
My name is Stephanie.
Stephanie, I'm gonna lock you in.
Okay.
If I can. I really do appreciate you. You're such a sweet woman.
Well, thank you. And I have the typical Michigan voice, too.
You do. I wasn't sure if you was here. That's why I said, is this Memphis?
Right, yeah, because trust me, Memphians do not like my tone. It's like, sorry, I'm not Southern.
Yeah.
It's just, that's how it is. But if you have any other questions, call. If you guys call an attorney, you're like, I like this attorney, but you want to ask our opinion, we can cough, tell you our opinion once you say an attorney's name, but we can't recommend an attorney.
Okay. All right, let me do a little bit more research. I really do appreciate you, Stephanie, and I hope I run into you when you're here.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be home in 2 weeks.
Oh, really? Yeah. It's pretty nice up here in the summer. So.
Yeah, except for the Canadian smoke.
Yeah. It's kind of clear up now. It's clear now.
Well, that's good. All right, well, call if you have any other questions.
Thank you, love.
You're welcome. Bye. All right.
So that is how you have customer service. Let me give a shout out to Stephanie. Shout out to Stephanie. When you meet people that got good energy, man, versus the other chick that was on the phone that I called, and she was like, yeah, versus kicking it with another person and y'all able to conversate and have a good conversation, that's how you get wifed up. That's how you get wifed up. I got to do some research. So I'm unfamiliar with the bonding process in jail and all of this stuff. This is all new for me, you know. Never been a part of the system before, but I think that this woman needs some help. And I think that she's being abandoned and she's being left alone. And I might have to step in and do something. So I don't know what the play is. I don't know. Because I was willing to give the $10,000. I'm like, listen, I'll put up $10,000 for her bail or whatever. And that way she can get out and we can figure it out from there. But I got to find 3 people. They got to come up with their check stubs. They got to justify where they got the money from. What kind of system is this? What kind of system is... Note to self. Don't do crime in Memphis. Y'all that be doing crime in these places that got these super strict laws and judges and all that. I don't even know why y'all doing crime down there. Y'all should have went up to Chicago. If you gonna do crime, go to Chicago, go to Los Angeles, go to some place like that where it's super liberal and that you ain't got to deal with the same thing. You can get off, you can get out for free. I don't know nobody in Memphis that I know of. Maybe I'll put it in the Discord. Put it in. First thing I need to do is probably contact a lawyer. So, y'all, I don't know. Listen. Y'all over there in Tennessee, y'all down there in Mississippi, y'all down there in Arkansas, you selling drugs and committing crimes and you doing YN behavior. Somebody better tell you, chill out. Chill out. Y'all better chill out. Keep on getting yourself in stuff you can't get out of. I don't know what y'all doing down there in Memphis, but they not letting y'all out of jail. They saying, listen, not only do you go to jail, but you ain't getting out. And if you do get out, we going to find out who got you out because we need to justify who getting you out and where they got it from. Jesus. I didn't know that Memphis was like that. Why would y'all do crimes in the South? Why y'all doing crimes in the South? Y'all know they not playing no game. If you want to do crime, come to Chicago. If you want to do crime, come to Chicago. I was willing to put up 10 bands for it, though. I was willing to put up 10. I ain't willing to put up 110. That's a bit much. I don't know if the cause is that meaningful to me. But at the same time, it's like, how come the community ain't how come all of these feminists ain't coming to her aid? How come people that are heavy against pedos ain't coming to her aid? How come the NAACP ain't coming to her aid? And here's the other part. How come I can't be in another state and be able to pay her bond? Yeah, that was my Piston tickets. I gotta give up my Piston tickets? That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that's a crazy thing. Now, but see, now it bothers me, and we about to go over to the next subject, and I'm gonna read the super chats. It bothers me, and the reason that it bothers me is because now I'm starting to become more familiar with the system down in Memphis, and it's not right. That's not right. So now that you know better, it's like, this is the reason why a lot of people say they don't want to know. They don't want to be familiar. They don't want to know. They don't want to have any insight into what's going on. They don't want to know, because the more you know, the more you either have to do something, and at the same time you get upset about it, and the more you realize how messed up things are. And so when I tell y'all a lot of times, no, 2K is not from Memphis. He's from Mississippi. When I tell y'all a lot of times that you have to participate in your local elections, that you have to be able to pick who your judges are, you have to be able to bring up issues and problems that are meaningful to you when you go into these situations, when you're talking about the mayor, when you're talking about the city council, when you're talking about, the prosecuting attorneys and things like that. When you talk about these things and you want change in your communities, this is why you have to be engaged, because it's not until something happens to somebody that you know in these communities that then people want to start having a conversation about it. And I say it, the thing that you're going to be affected by the most, or somebody that you love, could very well be a local issue. But don't nobody want to vote. Don't nobody want to turn up. Don't nobody want to have a conversation. You could determine whether or not you getting these companies that is coming into y'all cities, these what are they called? These data centers, This is crazy. This is crazy. You can't get her out because you from Michigan. I'm in the United States. What are you talking about? I can't get her out because I'm from Michigan, from the United States. I wonder if I can get a good lawyer to initially start to participate in this, and then I can use my platform to get them more visibility, and then we could just put the money up, and then they could figure out how to get them out, and maybe they could do it pro bono, or I can pay their initial fees, and then they could do a little bit of work at a discounted fee in order to get more visibility and advertisement. Yeah, don't do crime down there, bro. TM Speak says you wrong on this one, bro. They are right. Spelled there wrong, but we're gonna give you a pass. Because it's they are. It's THEY''RE. They're right. You know where your money comes from. They don't. And you can't be responsible for someone showing up way in Michigan. We are still in the U.S. Listen, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be able to justify where the money is coming from. I don't have no problem showing my bank accounts. Everybody see my bank accounts on the internet anyway. I'm saying, why is it different rules just because you're from Michigan if you're proving that the money that you're using is legitimate, is what I'm saying. Or if somebody want to partner with me, I wish I could find other content creators that actually wanted to do some real stuff, some meaningful stuff. We talk about all of these cars, we talk about all of these lambs and roses, and everybody's stunting and got all of the jewelry on. And don't nobody actually want to participate in stuff that really matters in the community, bro. This is a whole person. Honestly, I wish I could find somebody, other content creators, that was willing to put up the way I'm willing to put up. They don't even have to put up as much as I'm willing to put up. Somebody name me somebody in the chat before we go over to the next thing. Somebody name me somebody in the chat of who y'all think would be willing to jump in on this and get active and would be willing to put up money. Because if you get a few different content creators that's getting to the bag and this is meaningful to them, because you don't want to just get them to do it just because you get them to do it. You get them to take care. I take care of the bond. They can partner up on the initial fees for the lawyer. All of that type of stuff, bro. The problem is a lot of these people are actually broke, to be honest with you, if you just want to keep it 100. Between being selfish and being broke, most people ain't really getting into it like that. And they don't even have to be content creators. They could be whatever, entertainers, whatever. Aristotle got money. Shout out to my dog Aristotle. I rock with my guy. You got to get people that actually care about this stuff, and they got to be able to have a bag, bro. I'm going to do some research and I'm going to do some work. This is going to become my passion project behind the scenes. The only thing I fear is that when I start to get involved with stuff, I start putting up money and then it just go out of control. So this is going to be my passion project and I'm going to figure it out. And let me say this also. Another reason why this is problematic for me is that I don't like asking people for help, bro. I don't like asking people for help. Cause I don't think that is right to put people at, a pressure type of situation and say, hey man, this is meaning. It may not be meaningful to them. They may not have it, and they may not want to say, I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you almost got to do it on your own. And if other people start to see it and they want to contribute, then that's a whole nother conversation. So. No, we're not going to do a bag chaser crowd fund. We're not doing that. This is not y'all burden. This is not y'all responsibility. This is not anything that has to do with y'all at all. I only want people that have it in access, that see this as something that they think that they should get involved with and passionate about, to participate in it. We could change somebody's life, man. We could help this lady and get her back on track and change her life. We'll figure it out. Let me get to work. I'm going to work behind the scenes and see what I can do. Because honestly, if they was to say, yo, you can just put up to 10,000, I would fly down there today. I would fly down there today, put it up in the morning, and just do it. If they said that you could do it, I would just go to the bank. Well, I would go to the bank when I got down there. Because you don't want to fly with all of that type of money. And just go from there. Why I gotta be all of that, Jay Reed? Why is F that B? So wild culture. Let me read some more of these super chats, and then we got a couple more stories we gotta navigate through, y'all. Q! What up to my girl Q? Hey, y'all, let me tell y'all a secret about Q. She be completely out of the loop of everything that happened in popular culture. Q don't be knowing who going to jail. Q don't be knowing who dropped albums. Q don't be knowing about who went viral. Q be riding around, living life, head in the clouds. She don't be knowing nothing. And I guess that's the way that it should be. Danielle says Minnesota AG Keith Ellison also admits illegals are voting in elections in his campaign. It's on the news as well. All right, I'm going to have to put together what that look like for tomorrow. Can we say this is what a DEI education looks like? Shout out to Alexander. High Tolerance says they should have gotten Blank Man. Oh my God. Y'all are a mess. They should have gotten Blank Man off the mic ASAP. Y'all are so wild, bro. Wesley Turner says Wesley Turner says we're going to be victims in 22-26 at this point. AR is back, says he sound like he used to get whooped for reading books. Shen C says, I remember DJ Envy once talking about being chased by carjackers in his Rolls Royce. Sorry, I'm a few minutes behind on the live. It's just real out here. It is real in the field, bro. Eric Harris, what up, Eric? Eric says, AD, if you bond her out, let one of her family members sign for her bond. That way you won't be held reliable for her. But here's the thing. They got to justify that they got the money. They got to justify where they got the money from. DJ Kane in the building says call Benjamin Crump to get her out. Man, I ain't calling. Nah, I'm straight. The Genius says you are learning in real time how the South mess people up. ATL is just like that. Crazy. Bo Winkle says ask 2K. Josh McLean says they probably make the system so complex to use it as a deterrent to crime. Darnell says, I'm rolling through Tennessee, came through Memphis earlier. I want to go to Memphis so bad. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with Memphis. High Tolerance said, hit Zebo up and Tony Allen. I just ran into Zebo. I ran into Zebo here. We chopped it up at the bar. That nigga tall as hell. He is tall. He's tall. I ran into him. I told him I like his Out the Mud podcast. We chopped it up. We didn't exchange numbers or anything like that. I just ran into him and we chopped it up and we talked about content and all of that stuff. Shout out to Zebo, man. I love what he got going on. Wesley Turner says Brian McKnight might be willing. Twisted Pup says, I know I'm behind, but I love this Bond lady. Yeah, she was cool, wasn't she? Let me give her a round of applause. Eric Harris says, 80, you should call the NAACP, see how they feel about it. This is a black issue and she's a black woman. Maybe we can do that tomorrow during a live. That'll be the phone call I make tomorrow. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I want to talk about this first. Malcolm Jamal Warner. Do y'all remember Malcolm Jamal Warner? And him passing away? I think he had passed away by drowning, if I'm not mistaken. Malcolm Jamal Warner had passed away by drowning. Pretty impeccable career. Did really well. And he passed away. And I remember I did the report on it. And one of the things that I did a report on and I said was, make sure you have all of your ducks in a row. Make sure you have all of your ducks in a row. And I told guys, I said, make sure your life insurance is right. Make sure your will is set up so that people know exactly what your wishes are and they won't have any disagreements about how you should be moving going forward. This is what's going on with Malcolm Jamal Warner's estate.
This week marks 1 year since the tragic death of actor Malcolm Jamal Warner. It feels like yesterday that we learned this very talented actor, very popular, drowned in Costa Rica while on vacation with his family. His death sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. Now, unfortunately, there is new legal drama surrounding the family. His widow, Tanisha Warner, filed a lawsuit that seeks to recover more than $1 million from the family trust. In a statement, she said this: for the last year, I have attempted to privately settle my beloved husband's complicated estate and honor his last wishes. Malcolm had every intention to provide for our 9-year-old daughter and me. Well, the trust is controlled by Malcolm's mother. Her name is Pamela Warner, who posted on Instagram Monday night, without naming names. She said, in part, during my year-long journey, I've discovered how cruel, evil, and greedy a human can be. I've also discovered the depth of love, care, concern, and support that humans are capable of. Well, we sat down with Tanisha Warner for an exclusive conversation that we did prior to this lawsuit. Among other things, we talked about Malcolm, of course, and what the year has been like for her. We asked about her relationship with her mother-in-law. Do you communicate with his mom? Are you close to his mom? Where is she? She's in Los Angeles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now, everybody, like all of his family members and everyone who has lost him, they are grieving. It's been the biggest loss for all of us.
All of us.
Right now, my daughter and I are just like...
You guys are a unit.
Yeah.
You guys are a unit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the emotional capacity that I have can be very limited sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to, for myself, decide what do I have to give right now in this moment.
Let me say this, all right? You know what one of my worst fears are? What drives me on a daily basis is to finish the projects and to finish the things that I said that I was going to do for other people. And I'm pressing hard and I'm driving hard towards that. Because my worst nightmare is for people to start to dispute your estate as a man and for it to fracture the family and fracture your friends and fracture people and turn them against each other when your life was supposed to be celebrated. But they have to spend the next year or so debating, going over your estate, trying to figure out who gets what. I don't like you, or this and that, or I don't think you deserve this, and so on and so forth. That is my worst nightmare, is that if anything was to ever happen to me, that it would fracture the people around me instead of bringing them together all over money. All over money. I've seen people fight for Gam's house. I've seen people fight over an estate. I've seen people go back and forth. I have seen that so many times. So many times. To where it almost marred or ruined the legacy of the person that passed away. People spent more time talking about who's arguing and who should get what than they cared about the person that actually got buried. You ain't got to worry about that if a person ain't got no money, though. When my father died, we inherited tax bills. We didn't know that he was behind on his taxes, and so I had to pay the tax bills to make sure that my mom wasn't affected because we inherited debt. Now, I didn't trip about it because I was in a really, really good financial position, and my brothers didn't trip about it because the only thing we all cared about was making sure that my mom was taken care of. But I'm going to just tell you, ain't nobody tripping about trying to pay that funeral bill, all of that type of stuff. They like, hey, man, what we going to do? And so anybody that step up. Now, we as boys, so we took care of it, and we removed that burden from our mother, and we made sure that she was taken care of also. But that is the importance of all being on one accord and all being aligned, because you have to make sure that things is taken care of. That's another part of a burden that a lot of women don't understand that falls on the shoulders of men. That falls on the shoulders of men. I think about that all the time, probably more than I should. I think about, man, what if something was to ever happen to me tomorrow? Do I got everything the way that it's supposed to be? I mean, I got my insurance policies and all of that stuff set out, but this is a worst case scenario. And I'm going to get into my thoughts on this in a second.
And whatever I have to give, the first person to get that is my daughter. And then the second is myself.
We'll have much more of our exclusive interview tomorrow. We should say, I want to emphasize, we did this interview without knowing about this lawsuit. Mm-hmm. And I was really just asking that question.
That's how they be doing. They do the interview and then they stash it. And then if something pop up, they be like, hey, we got that interview. And then they want to drop it off and make it seem like it's exclusive.
Passing because Pamela Warner had spoke out. She and her son were very, very, very close.
Yeah.
And so she had done an interview, and I was just asking, just because I was curious about their relationship was like. I thought her answer was telling when she said, I can only do so much. It's just myself and my daughter. That it wasn't, But
she didn't throw the mother under the bus. If you notice that, the widow did not throw the mother under the bus.
Of course, we're in communication. Of course, we're both grieving. But I did not know that all of this was going on. We went to do the interview to talk about the 1-year anniversary of Malcolm's very shocking death for all of us who really cared about him. To hear how she was doing and what she was feeling, and now it's turned into something that none of us who shot the interview that day saw coming.
Yeah, Toya, my wife and I were talking about this because we don't know the details on either side.
Right.
We don't know what Malcolm Jamal Warner had in place before he unfortunately passed away. But the one thing we looked at each other and said almost simultaneously was, we have to get our affairs in order.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Because you don't know.
Yes.
Because you never know.
Because you don't know.
Yeah.
And let me say this. He made a really good point in that you don't know what's going on. You don't know how they got things set up. It's very hard because my first question was, why is the mother controlling the estate instead of the widow? Again, If she's a widow, that means that she was his wife and they had a family together, and maybe he got married to her and never updated his estate, never updated his will. I don't understand how she's controlling, the mother is controlling the estate, regardless of how close you and your mother is. The word of God says that you should cleave to your wife and you should cleave to your husband. So how is the wife not in a dispute for controlling his estate? I don't understand that. That's the part that I'm trying to figure out. And again, you know, you're probably never going to figure that out because nobody is willing to talk or whatever. But I don't know how the wife is not in control of this thing. How didn't she become the person by default? I read that his estate plan was from 1996 and he never updated it. Wow. I don't believe that, OG King. You said he thought his wife would finesse him, and so he kept it in his mom's name. I don't believe that. Because you don't get married to a person that you think is going to finesse you. You just don't marry him. You don't get married to a person that you think is going to finesse you. You just don't marry them. Yes, they were legally married. She is a widow. She not a girlfriend. She not a live-in girlfriend and none of that stuff. She is a widow. So this is not just some random chick that he was talking to that he really liked. This is a woman that he had a child with and he was married to. Let this be a warning. Sometimes people forget. You got to remember, you could be young or even middle-aged and healthy. He didn't know he was going to drown. You know, that's just not something that you think about. You don't think like, man, today is going to be the end of my life. And so you try to put every single thing in place. Everything in place, you know, as it rock out. That's why I make sure that my insurance plans is up to date, that, you know, my wills is up to date, that everything is taken care of, that everything is in this person's name, this person's name, this person's name. That way we don't have because I mean, you'd like to think that your people is going to do the right thing, but then at the same time, you just never know. You never, ever know. I got another story that I want to go over with y'all, and I'm going to read Super Chat shortly. I just got to make a phone call. Check on this car.
Hello.
Yo, you at the crib? I'm on live. You at the crib, right?
Yeah.
Did they give a estimate of when they would, anything like that? Or they just said that they would call when they find out more information about the car?
They said they would call back.
Okay, cool. Get some rest, traveler.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Gotta update your life insurance from work. And some people gotta come off. Yep. I agree. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Let me read a couple of more super chats. Says, now I see how Crump running up that bag. Yep. Now you see. He don't even look like he can read. Kathy Jones says, Millionaire Morning Show fam. There's almost 2,000 people in here. And if everybody gave $5, it would take care of the bond. But I wouldn't do that, though. I wouldn't do that, Kathy. And let me tell you why. because you still have to get somebody from down in Memphis. You still got to go and get a lawyer. It's a process. That's why I said, let me research it first before anything. And Kathy, I appreciate you. You're a nice person. You're phenomenal. All right, let me research and figure out what's going on. Princeton says, I hope I didn't miss this in the show. Have you seen the video of the homeless guy who got stuck in a porta potty? I didn't. A homeless guy got stuck in a porta potty? You can send it to me and I'll check it out. I'm going to do this Malcolm Jamal Warner conversation. I might add that tonight. Let me see something. Malcolm Jamal Warner, Nolan Wells, autopsy. So we got a couple different subjects that we want to cover. I do want to go into this last video because time, we only get 4 hours in a day. I know it seems like it goes by fast. Let me ask y'all a question before we get into this last video. Now that we regularly do 4-hour shows, right? Like structured, mapped out, multiple different subjects, 4-hour shows. And you also get 3 to 4 hours sometimes. I think we did 5-6 hours on Friday and Thursday last week on After Hours. When y'all go and watch other lives, do they seem too short? I got you, Keisha. Interviewing an estate planner for the Patreon. Let me write that down. I got you. Good suggestion. When y'all watch other shows and they may not be as long, do they seem kind of quick? Like, have y'all gotten used to being here for 4 hours and locking in for 4 hours and participating? I don't watch other lives. What else y'all talking about? I've gotten sharper listening to Room 9. I don't watch other lives. 4-hour shows fly by, to be honest. Yeah, they don't seem like 4 hours. Listen, After Hours is the only ones I watch. You make it fun. Y'all don't even be watching no other lives. All right. I like that. All right, y'all. Let's get into it.
Stop misgendering me!
What's the problem?
Why do you?
All right. So this is saying that body cam captures a trans Florida student's explosive meltdown over misgendering before an arrest. This is going viral, and so I thought that y'all would find this interesting as the last thing that we talk about.
Let those kids get away with this! They are not supposed to be here!
If you don't lower your voice.
Yo, why does he have on slippers like the Wicked Witch of the West? Why does he have on slippers? Yo, is this how y'all dressing on college campuses? Is this what y'all doing on college campuses now? Let me keep my kid away from college campuses, staying on college campuses. Because if this is what y'all got going on, this is wild.
Supposed to be here!
If you don't lower your voice, I am going to put handcuffs on you and I'm going to take you to a Baker Act facility. You lower your voice.
Try it.
Are you threatening me?
You're threatening me.
Are you threatening me?
I'm just...
Because I'm here right now to deal with it.
I know it's a dude. That's what I'm saying. Oh, she got them Yeezy slides on. Them Yeezy. I love them Yeezys. I forgot which ones they were.
Stolen vehicle. I ain't got time to hear you screaming and yelling.
I don't have time to constantly be abused.
We'll get OPD down here then, because I gotta work this stolen vehicle.
What do you mean OPD?
Alpha 73 University.
Alpha 73?
Can we get another unit to deal with Jay Lee here? He is having a break.
Just say the right pronoun!
What'd you say?
7351.
Get down on the ground right now.
No!
You're about to get sprayed.
No, just
Get down on the ground right now.
Leave me alone!
I can come in there.
Leave me alone, please!
Okay, are you going to calm down?
I'm getting my phone out. I have to film this.
I'm telling you.
What in the world? This seemed like an SNL skit. What is we looking at right now? Yo, this seems like an SNL skit, the way that this is playing out.
Are you going to calm down? You don't charge a police.
I knew he had an Android. I know y'all not going to like it. I know y'all not going to like it. For all of my Android users, shout out to all of the Android users. I don't phone discriminate. No matter what. Blue bubble, green bubble, we all in the same bubble. We all in this together. But I'm just saying, as I profile, because I profile everything, I knew that he had an Android. I knew that he had every single school shooter, every trans person, they don't have iPhones. That's just the honest to God truth. Come on, man. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. We all knew if you had to figure out, okay, what kind of phone that he got. They got an Android every time. This is the truth. It's the truth. They always got 4 lenses down the bottom of their camera. 4 or 5 lenses all down the bottom of their camera. Yeah, that's an Android user. That just is what it is. That's what it is, man.
Down! I will calm.
Do you know what this is?
I will calm down when you get the pepper spray out of my face.
Alpha 73.
Leave me alone.
I have
just please.
Pepper spray
please.
at this individual
just stop
right now.
pointing the pepper spray at me. I will calm down if you do that. Stop threatening me.
Yeah, lower your voice.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Do you want to get tased?
I want you to leave me alone. You have been particularly abusing me.
If you come,
if
you come towards me one more time,
follow me.
You are gonna.
And send your bills administrators.
I gotta
Don't you remember? Don't you remember?
Jaylee, don't focus on me, okay?
Let me tell you something, bro. I'm going to tell you this is the realest thing that you're going to ever see. Maybe you need spiritual eyes for this. Maybe you need to have a different perspective for this. These people are not crazy. They know what they're doing. They got y'all fooled. They got the counselors fooled. They got the teachers fooled. They got the liberals fooled. They got everybody fooled. They may even have some conservatives or some Republicans fooled, but you can't fool the real. When you see things sometimes through spiritual eyes, you can see the BS every single time. You can see through the nonsense. All of this junk is performative. All of this I'm crazy, I'm screaming junk, they doing that junk on purpose, bro. Every time they do it. If you're experiencing some kind of muting, then you might have to refresh. This is listen to what I'm saying. Listen. It's all performative. They are not crazy. They are not insane. They are not losing their minds. They know what they're doing, and they do it in order to try to throw you off or try to make it seem like that they going crazy or it's nuts. They not crazy, bro. They know everything that they doing, and they know how to play it.
tell me where to go.
You! You cop!
Alpha 73 University.
I want to be away
No,
from
no,
him.
it's too late now. It's too late now. He's gonna be taken away.
Shay!
Jaylee, stop.
It's taken.
I just want to get away from him.
I understand that.
He needs
Shay!
He.
Shay! 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 Stop! Miss! Jiggling me! Just say Shay!
Alpha 73.
Josh, can you please just tell them to use the right pronouns? Please! You know it's causing me a lot of distress.
I need you to bring it down here, though.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you very nicely. Put your stuff down, turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Delta 70 to Riley Rivera.
Not going to be arrested.
Put your stuff down.
No.
Put your hands behind your back.
No.
Okay, so I'm only gonna ask you one more time. You can record all you want, but it's already beyond that point. We already tried.
You're stressing me out.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just asking you to please stop stressing.
We already tried to help you. So.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
You came in with hostile intent.
Put your hands.
Be alone.
Get on the ground right now.
Don't
hurt
me.
Get on the ground right now.
Don't hurt me.
Get down on the ground right now.
That's the cops. See, I'm from the old school. I believe in getting aggressive. All of this, keep petting the devil, keep going back and forth, making people feel comfortable so that you watch too much TV, you watch social media. No, I can't. Oh, no, we're not doing none of that. Nope. Listen, you hear what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. You playing games. I'm putting these gloves on, and either you're going to get down or lay down. Just like Beanie Siegel said, get down or lay down.
Leave me alone.
Stop. Get down. Get down on the ground. Get down.
Leave me alone.
Oh, they ain't got him to the ground yet?
Help me.
Get down.
Get down.
This is how you know you actually dealing with a real man. Because no matter what form they come in, they still got men's strength.
Get down. Get him down.
Let go. Hand behind your back.
Ugh.
Put your hand behind your back, please.
All of that acne on his
No.
I'm right.
Ain't nothing like back acne.
Come on, stop.
Please. Josh! Josh! Please, this is all a big misunderstanding!
How is he still standing? Do a leg sweep.
I'm gonna spray him.
No, please don't say him! Her!
Okay, her. I'm gonna spray her.
Thank you.
Put your hand behind your back.
No.
Yes. I don't want to spray you.
On 3, reference.
One.
Give me your hand.
1 resisting at you.
Can I? Is there any way I can?
No, give me your hand.
Please.
Give me your hand.
I just. Please. I can calm down if you just give me some space.
See what's gonna happen?
That hurt.
I just need
Put your hand behind your back.
They giving him all the warnings in the world.
space.
Give me your hand.
I just need
Give me
space,
your
please.
hand.
Gotta hit him with the wop shebang.
Give me your hand.
Hit him with it.
I'm gonna tase you.
Hit him with
You
it.
don't cooperate. Tase
Jalen,
him.
give me.
Turn him into the worm.
Jalen, it's gonna hurt, man. Just give me your hand. He's not gonna tase you. Just give me your hand.
You're gonna arrest me.
No.
Give me your hand.
Yes, we need
Yes.
your hand.
I don't arrest me. No!
Let go.
You're gonna get it again.
Oh, oh, dog. Oh, oh, oh. I needed this laugh. Oh man, I needed this laugh so much. This is hilarious, bro. Oh, hold on, we gotta rewind that one. He hit him with the whole.
Let's go. Give me your hand.
You're gonna get it again this time.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Leave me alone!
Give me your hand. Your hand.
He grabbing him by the socks. Look at him socks.
I got his leg. I got his leg.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Oh.
Let go. Your wrist. Relax him, okay?
Oh man.
Here you go.
We got him.
That
That battery on Leo.
I had to tase him. I tased him.
Comply. Now you're not ready for battery on Leo.
Roll over. Roll over.
Get up.
Josh, please.
On your knee.
Get up with them socks. They dirty at the
Can
bottom.
I have my phone?
Look how dirty his socks is.
Ow, I can't get up.
Yes.
Ah!
Yeah.
Ah! Ah!
Stunned. Sit down. We're gonna have the fire department take a look at you.
Oh, this is so funny.
This is a big misunderstanding.
Let's just take it to the car.
Put him in my patrol car.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Huh?
Come on.
Wait!
You're gonna be all right.
Come on.
Oh,
Thanks, Josh.
can I have my phone back?
We'll get your belongings. All right.
Oh.
November 10, headquarters will be sent over Chicago Grady.
I hate you all. I hate you. You escalated this.
That's what white kids say to their parents after they get in trouble and get on punishment. I hate you. I hate you. I'm never gonna forgive. I'm never gonna forgive you for this. This is why you got to get control of your kids when they're young, man, so you can drive this out of them so they don't be getting tased on campus.
You have to pull out the pepper spray. You don't have to continue to misgender me.
See what happens when y'all give credence to the devil? When you allow for this stuff to go this far, then this is what it translates into.
You knew my buddies and you set them off.
Backseat to you, buddy.
Please step in.
Watch your head.
Do not push me.
Actually, check the schedule and see how many you have on the campus.
Oh, that is so hilarious. Look at them shoes.
I told him to calm down.
Yeah. Got to start getting some control in the field because it's real in the field. That was the perfect ending to the show. Good gosh. Shout out to Rich Whip, says Crump's credentials need to be investigated. Like Dr. Cheyenne. Did y'all see Cheyenne Bryant? Hold on, man. Let me see this. This chick won't go away, bro. How'd she get so many followers?
She don't move like.
Why?
That's what I was referring to.
Why, bro?
The more we hold on.
Why? I don't understand it. What's the point? Shout out to Rich Whips. I appreciate you, bro. Johnny Mack in the building says, if you think Ben Crump sounded bad on what you showed, you should hear him read an actual autopsy report. Yeah, I heard he went through the autopsy report. Decepticons must be stopped at no matter the cost, says Optimus Prime. Zav says, why the officers sound like Patrick Bet-David? Oh, man, that whole video was funny. Brinston says, I sent the YouTube video to your email. Thank you, Brinston. All right, bet. I'm going to check it out. Mr. Lot says, charge them up. Now you identify as a battery. Wesley Turner says, you can tell he smelled like spoiled milk and bologna. Bologna. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Another successful show. Another one. We got after hours tonight, all right? So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth, and I'm going to see y'all tonight. I got to fix my sleeping patterns. Maybe I won't take a nap today, and I'm going to just see how that play out.